Good evening, everyone. It's that time of the year for the... I call it famous. I've actually only done one in the past, but it feels like semi-famous. Also quite divisive, the old tier list stream. I'm not joined by Andy, who was touted to be joining me again this year. He was very excited about it, but he's buggered off to Egypt. So his loss is your game, Mr. Luke Williams. How you doing? Oh, we can't hear you, so that's a good start. What have you done?
Oh my God, get Andy back in. Just added myself on mute.
Great start, mate, great start.
Yeah, no, I'm quite excited about it, to be honest. Jesus, that motorbike. This has not gone well, has it? Mate, I actually really wanted to do the other one. I saw like, was Andy not moaning about it? Is that not part of banter? Does he actually enjoy the tier list? Or is it you that doesn't like him?
I like him. We did 70 last year, and towards the end, he started getting a bit ratty. You know, he was like, "Oh, let's move on. We're not going to get that from you, are we? We're going to get dedication. Started nice and early. You know.
Snappy, not muted, no motorbikes. I do actually end up, I don't know about you, but I spend so much time on YouTube down rabbit holes, and I'm like sitting there watching tier lists of like the greatest Final Fantasy role-playing character, or the Eon, or the boss, or just random, like, I don't know why. I end up getting spellbound by them, and it's a total waste of my time. So hopefully you won't, the viewer, you won't suffer the same experience here, and it will be good, but it should be fun for me at least, because I've always wanted to be involved in one. And it's a bit of light-hearted fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Before we start, favourite Final Fantasy game? Now you've piqued my interest.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got a lot of answers. That's not a straightforward answer. 7, obviously, because it is like the classic, and everyone says so, and it is the first one I ever played. But in retrospect, playing them all back, 6 is really, really good.
Wow.
And 12, Zodiac Age, didn't enjoy it at the time, but it's aged pretty well. It's also got like an auto battle feature and stuff. So for like when you're lazy and you're old now and you can't be bothered, you can like set up some gambits and just go slay some creatures. So you can literally kick back. But they're all good. All those 3 are my favourite, definitely.
I feel like 12 has aged quite well. It's good when I played it. My favourite's always 10. 10 forever.
Yeah, that's popular. It is great. And that should be in the convo, yeah. But I said Blitzball's just...
I got the ultimate weapon. God knows how many games of Blitzball I had on that. Anyway, this isn't tier list. Let's talk fantasy football. So if you're new to the tier list, what exactly are we going to be doing? Well, we are going to be ranking 60 players from tiers S, as in the best tier, down to F, as in the worst tier. We're going to have a minute and a half to start with to discuss and then put them in a tier. There's going to be a wheel that we spin, which doesn't really add anything other than looks quite cool and is fun, but we're going to do all 60 anyway. It doesn't really matter, but it's part of the enjoyment of seeing which player is going to come up next. And the key thing with this season that we didn't do last year, because we realised as we started last year that we hadn't actually formalised any rules. This is going to be for the season, whereas last year we tried to do it for the first 6 game weeks, and it wasn't the optimal way of doing it. So it's going to be a season-long tier list. So then we can look back at the end of the season and we can see how well or badly we did. We will also discuss whether we would be picking these players in your Game Week 1 teams as well, because we know that's important too. So, yeah.
I think you've got to take into account value as well, right? We're not just putting these players are going to score the highest. It's how good of an option they are value-wise. I do think you've gone a bit wild on the amount of tiers there. I would have gone 4 or something, as like 7 is that 7? Yes, 7 is wild.
we're going to have to be ruthless with who goes into F tier. Like last year, I'll send you before we came on. Last year, I think it was reserved for like Eze, who was like about to move to Arsenal. We weren't really sure, and again, it was for the first 6 weeks. So I think we need to be a little bit more, like if a player comes and we genuinely think he is a terrible option and no one is going to pick him at any point in the season, he goes into F.
We get a little adjustment at the end, right?
And we can have a little adjustment at the end. Okay. Yes. I should say hi to everyone in the chat. Thanks for joining us. I know this is a bit of a divisive episode. Some people absolutely loved it. It was their favourite video of the season. Some people absolutely hated it. Jack Flash is in the chat, and he straight away says that he's been waiting all year for this video. So.
Liar.
I don't know. People like a tier list. Okay, right. Let's spin the wheel then for the first.
I don't even know which players you've put on this.
I know, it's exciting, isn't it? No one knows but me. Okay, our first player is It's Harry Wilson, Luke. Harry Wilson. Obviously now at Leeds, 6.5 million. Had a great season at Fulham where he was one of the top scoring 6 million players, if not the top scoring sort of midfielder around that price. I'm going to start the clock and talk to me about Harry Wilson.
I'm just going to consult Solio because that's going to be my answer for everyone. No, I'm joking.
We don't have time for that.
No, we don't. No. Okay. Obviously a good player. Run hot last season, I think, but at the same time, generally had really good data and ran the opposite of hot, mostly due to minutes. Mm-hmm. So better team. If he can prove his fitness like he did last season, around that price, you've got the likes of Sarr, more of a goal scorer, I would say. But will be involved in bonus points. Love Leeds as a team this year. I think Leeds are going to do really well. But I think there's better options at probably 6 and 5.5 for the season, maybe. So I will go C.
Yeah, it's
right
a shame.
In the middle.
It's a shame he's not 6, isn't it? If he was 6, I think we would be considering, because you'd have that choice with Stack, and I think it would be quite nice. I think if he gets the lion's share of set pieces and free kicks like he had at Fulham, I think he's a good option. But like you pointed out last week on BlackBox, he's going to be sharing that. I mean, Stack is so good at free kicks. I can't see him taking all the direct free kicks there. Yeah. So I think it does dent him a bit.
Is there a world where like Calvert-Lewin gets injured and then he's in the frame for penalties? Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, maybe. I mean, they've got quite a few players who would probably want to step up. I think C's probably fair for that, but I think he could be an option for us at some point in the season. But I think C is good. Look at that, bang on time. Let's move him to there. Gonna have to make him. We're gonna run out of room very quickly on this stream.
Yes, you are.
Okay, let's spin the wheel. Player number 2. C to D seems like the chat's choice as well. C to D. D seems a bit harsh for Wilson.
I don't know who else is to come, so that's the other thing. I don't have any sort of yardstick.
Rayan is next.
Oh my God, I'm thinking C straight away again. Is every pick going to be C?
What is he? Same prices as Wilson, 6'5", playing for Bournemouth. Obviously not got the free kicks, not got the pens. Might be playing slightly advanced. If he goes with the system that he's played at Leipzig with a kind of a winger tucking in as a striker. I quite like that idea for him. Wouldn't be starting the season, then Krupi's going to be back.
I think the positive is his minutes seem pretty locked. I mean, that's brave to say with the new manager, but given what we saw last season, given his talent, his potential, and then in that squad, there isn't too many players, I think, that can even play, if he does stay on that right-hand side. So, maybe he follows the similar trajectory to Krupy and becomes a lot better than that, but I think it's that 6.5 price again. It's quite a tricky one. Still think I'd probably pick Sarr over all of them. Maybe. I can't remember who else is at 6.5 to be fair, but for some reason Sarr stands out for me at that price. He always does. I just love that guy. But
yeah. I mean, I think Rayan's one of, you mentioned like having a wild card option at the bottom of this tier list. He's probably maybe a player that could sit in there because he could have a breakthrough season. He could push 15 attacking returns, be a key player for Bournemouth, get a massive move in the summer and do really well. But looking at him right now, we don't know the tactics. He's not on free kicks. He hasn't got the set pieces, not on pens. And like you say, there's other proven players for around 6'5". I'd actually put him a bit lower than Wilson.
Yeah,
I'd be tempted to put him in D.
I think you're probably right because there's also players in the team you'd pick above him, right? Scott, I'd have above him. I'd have Tavernier, possibly Cliver, and then ultimately Krupy. So maybe go D then.
Going D, yeah.
Going D. Wish I was.
Going D. Sorry, Rayan. I really like Rayan.
Yeah,
I want him to emerge. Harsh. I can't bet that he is going to do that. He's one of those players that could make a mockery of this. He could be the best scoring 6'5" by far, and be an A.
You're going to have to move him above that line because that's doing my head in now. You've chopped off a little bit of his body. Poor guy.
Oh, sorry, Rayan. It's not as easy as
Munoz.
that.
Is that the wing back Munoz
this
from
is
Palace?
the wing back from Palace, yeah. Is that above the line? It's not as easy to see as you might think.
Don't matter, is it?
That'll do. Okay, Munoz, talk to me.
Is he 5.5? The fact I don't know his price.
He is 5.5.
Instinctively. Probably shows that I just haven't considered him, but that's more because the fixtures to start. I don't know, new manager. but has proven already that he's probably got the best lungs in the Premier League. He just plays and plays up and down. Oh, yeah. Might be a good singer. Does that count towards the tier list?
Yeah, probably. Why not?
But yeah, I mean, goal threat, assist threat, very exciting. Definitely be in teams for periods, free hits, wild cards at some point, I'd imagine. I think you can never really have someone as exciting as Munoz as like below B. I'd say B, BA even. No, B probably.
I think the question mark is obviously the role, isn't it? Because we know under Glasner he was the main attacking threat on that. Well, I mean him and Son. I mean lots of attacking threats, but he was playing in a very, very attacking way. Whereas, are they going to try and rein him in a little bit? I mean, we didn't see any evidence of that at the World Cup, did we? He was bombing
it's just
forward.
who he is. I just don't see. I mean, that would just be to kill him as a player. You're better off playing someone else if you're doing that.
And the fact he hasn't had a price rise as well, I think, is a positive. The trouble is he's competing with the DEFCON guys, isn't he? And
I think because this is interesting because the beginning of the season sways us so much, and he's not been my mind. I'm probably being harsh to him. I think he is an A or a B, probably a B. But
let's go B then. Let's go B. I'm probably B between B and C, so
okay.
I'm happy to go with that and go for a B. Okay. I'm pressing a button on this wheel, which I hope is getting rid of the players that we're putting on it. So I will say it's going to look a bit it's because when I move them on OBS, no one cares about this. When I move them on OBS, they have this big red box around them, and it's really hard to see where I'm actually putting them.
Yeah.
I told you no one would care, but there it is. Anyway, that's my excuse. Let's just move right over a little bit. There you go. Mateta.
Yeah, your turn to go first.
My turn to go first. So obviously Mateta is at Palace. He's 6'5"?
Yeah.
I
think it is.
It's a good price. I mean, he was 7.5 last year. Obviously, he had spells where he was in and out of the team. Never really delivered, did he? Everyone bought him in. I think he was really good at the start of the season. Everyone bought him in, and then he did nothing for about 8 weeks. And then obviously they signed Strand Larsen. Loads of rumours he was going to go, and then he got injured. Again, I think we've got a new manager. We don't know how he's going to use him. He's got big competition in Strand Larsen. I mean, they paid 40 million for Strand Larsen, 50 million, something like that. So you've got to think shared minutes. Plus they've got Europe as well. I can't see him being that much of a factor for us this year, unless he nails down the Palace striker role and gets penalties.
There's a lot of ifs there, isn't there?
There's a lot of ifs.
He's definitely first choice for me in terms of between the two players.
Yeah, he's better. He's better than Strand Larsen.
And obviously, he does take penalties. So there is a world he does pretty damn well. And I think he is a very useful player in the Premier League. But yeah, 6 million strikers that are better, probably. At least Calvert-Lewin, I think.
Wouldn't massively surprise me if they sold him still.
No, I mean, I don't know where that went, because it very much looked like he was going to go, but wasn't it something to do with his knee was dodgy and therefore he didn't get signed? Strikers are hard to do well in this game if they don't have the minutes, and he doesn't always have the minutes, so I would say maybe even a E? D? E, D?
An E or a D? Yeah, well, I was thinking D.
You were always thinking D, my friend.
Are you going to make that joke every time?
Of course. I've got to fill in for Andy, and I know he'd be on it.
On the D. Okay. Well, we're between D and E then. E seems... I think D.
Okay.
I think let's go D.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to get so many of these wrong, aren't we?
This
is now going to be good when we look back next season, because you can go, well, you said it for the season, you got no excuse.
The main aim is just to not look completely stupid when August rolls around. Might be difficult. Okay. Greg FPL, how many strikers on this wheel? There are quite a few, to be fair. Still quite a few, because they priced them. Because they priced, you won't see them. It's tiny. Here we go. Muheramovic.
Oh, was that nailed? That might be nailed. From what we think it might be. That sounded nailed.
That's what you told me before we came on, but you are the worst man at pronouncing players I've ever met in my life.
I don't even bother trying. It's like even in Championship Manager 0102, and I played it for 25, 26 years, there's players there that I just refer to them as whatever I decided to call them when I was 15 years old. I haven't even bothered, even though I know their name's different.
Muheramovic... I'm going to let you take this one because he feels like a Luke Williams player.
Well, he's a DEFCON centre-back, isn't he?
Yep.
And I think before even it was cool, I was like, the Sky Game love these players, get them in your team. Lo and behold, it actually proved to be pretty correct on a lot of them. I keep talking about Leeds being good. He potentially does a lot of DEFCON. I'm not 100% that he's nailed, but from speaking to Leeds fans, they think he is. He's obviously left-footed. Stroik got sold. Left-footed centre-back makes sense. Might play in a back three, might play in a back two, might change between both. But it's ultimately down to the minutes for me. If he gets the minutes, he will be probably a very good pick. I would be tempted to put him in A, to be honest. It's the negatives. He also gets a lot of cards, but I don't think it matters. Tarkowski got about 10 cards last season, got 170 points from being a blockhead. So I just think that he's got potential to do the same, really.
Leeds
just
did
the minutes
pretty well, didn't they, for DEFCON? Like, we had players like Bijol, Strout did all right, Rodon did well at times. Like, they're a team that can definitely get them, and he's a player who likes to get them. So it seems like quite a good fit. Yeah,
I'm tempted to say A. But he's a new player to the league, so that feels scary.
Yeah. Do we risk it? Do we risk that he's going to be like the new Tarkowski?
It doesn't appear to be any 4.5 defenders that are obvious for being very good at DEFCON. And we know DEFCON is extremely powerful, or can be.
He's not 4.5, he's 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the fact that we haven't got any of those means that he is elevated as this is the next best thing, and he could be the equivalent of those guys. Where you'd say like Hill, for example, and was even for Hill, but Richards and stuff. If we were to go back now, you'd say they're probably in the A tier because of how much value they offer. It's not just about the total points, remember. So I think he's got the potential to have that value.
You know what, Luke? Sold. Let's stick him in A. Our first A tier player. Look at that. We've got a nice little spread.
That's brave.
It is brave.
70 points, terrible, and just never starts again for Leeds after 3 games is very much on the cards.
But he's got the potential to be massive, right? Like if he can actually average 66% DEFCON again playing for Leeds, he's going to be one of the highest scoring defenders in the game. So there's something there. Okay, this one's interesting. So this one is Garcia. So he is the new Fulham striker that has just obviously just signed. Kills Muniz completely as an option, signed for Real Madrid, likes a goal, has done very well. He was the top scorer at the Club World Cup, joint top scorer there. Obviously knows Arbeloa well. We think he's going to go straight in, praise his work rate, scores hat-tricks and braces. Looks a really, really good signing. The problem is he's coming at 6 million for FPL, which I think is going to put a few people off. I like him though. I like him as a player, and it's nice. We were very critical about Fulham, weren't we, when we did the stream last week, and it's nice to see they're making some moves. I think 6 million is interesting, particularly if he gets pens, right?
It very much hinges on that for me, the pens. I just Googled it quickly. I did look at it before, but I was reminding myself he had 6 goals in 30 matches. And a lot of those will be from subs and stuff. I'm not going into all of it. So that's not a lot for Real Madrid, is it? But like I say, I imagine a lot of that's cameos and stuff. S+. Oh, it's a Fulham fan, of course.
Of course it is.
Makes a lot of sense. I'm going to be harsh to strikers because I think that they are generally terrible. I know FPL have done a good job of pricing them to make them options. But he needs to... look at Thiago last season. He has to score a hell of a lot to even be value at that price. So I think...
He's C or D, isn't he, really?
Yeah.
Because he's not even nailed, like 100%. We don't know doing this stream
Maybe
right
not
now.
From the start, but I can imagine he must be because Muniz is terrible. He really is.
Yeah, but he could also be terrible. We don't even know if he's going to come in and do well. I think
as well then?
I think he's tempted. A C. I'm tempted by D, to be honest, but...
He actually shows in Solio Souls, which I did just before this stream, and he was popping up already, like... for the strat right at the beginning of the season, and that's with terrible fixtures. So he's probably better than we think.
A new striker to the league, playing for Fulham, a little bit of competition there, not guaranteed pens, better options. I think he's probably a D. But if you want to fight me, I'll go with you.
No, I won't fight you. I won't fight you.
That's good. You'd probably win.
Not this time.
Okay.
Sorry, Fulham fan.
Yeah, sorry, Fulham fan. I'm going to cancel his Patreon membership now. We love you, really. Okay, next we have one of your United boys. We have Mbumo. Brian Mbumo.
He's the most B player I've ever met in my life. Yeah, do a job. You see him in someone's team, you go, yeah, decent pick. but never quite. Well, he has reached the top echelon in FPL before, but I think,
Do you
at
think
8
he
million
could
at Man
again?
United.
Do you think he could again, or do you think he needs the pens and?
Well, there was also a lot of overperformance in the year where he did very well as well. I seem to recall that. I seem to remember Man United bought him after a year of massive overperformance. He's Premier League moulded in the sense he can handle all the minutes. He doesn't get injured. It's just Ahmad's there. They've got Europe. But some striker share. Bruno gets injured. He's suddenly on penalties. I know that phrase "Bruno gets injured" is not one anyone has said in like the last 10 years.
Can happen.
Can happen. I still just think B. I think he's a solid pick, but
I mean, the worry with him is always the competition, isn't it? Like, they've got Ahmad on the right, like Sesko up front. Like, does he play him? Where does he play him? And when he does play him in one of these positions, he has got competition. You're always going to be a little bit worried about an early sub, and his form wasn't great, particularly towards the end of last season. I think it would be harsh to put him below a B, but I think it would be too much to put him above a B. So I think you're right. I think B is pretty much bang on.
Maybe the beginning fixtures are swaying me again, because I think he is a good option to start the season, but just don't know beyond that.
I think B is the right.
Okay.
Some people really do have favourite players in this offside footy. And Mbeumo S clearly going to be in his team. Okay.
Should we just do it where I say something that like they're really good and you say they're really bad, and then whichever one turns out right, we clip that and put it on?
Yeah, good idea. Now you're talking.
Yeah.
Now you get how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, coming over to O'Reilly. You spoke about him in very positive terms last week. You said you expect him to be playing in a similar role. Obviously, one of the standout performers of last year. Getting a bit of feedback there, Luke. Don't put your ear near the mic. My God, come on. God, you got like some amazing headphones on. How are you getting like bleed from those? Crazy.
I don't know.
6.5 million playing for City. I'll leave this one to you. You know more about O'Reilly than I do.
I want to say S straight off the bat, but because it's a new manager and we can't be absolutely certain, I think I have to be a little bit hesitant. So I'm going to say A.
I mean, are you expecting any regression from him this year?
No, not really. I mean, it would be nice if he played him at one stage in the season. Pep started using him as like an actual 8, just starting in the 8 position. And at that period, he went crazy for his goal threat particularly, and he scored a lot of points. I don't know whether that will happen again. I think it potentially should, but probably won't. So, yeah, that takes a bit of the threat he had. But he's a threat from set pieces. He's a threat from open play. I know he doesn't really do the DEFCONs, but they're still second favourite, I think, for clean sheets over the season. So you'd have to expect if he plays all the games, he's going to get a number of clean sheets. Pricey.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's one of the most pricey defenders, and he hasn't got DEFCON, which we know is so valuable. So you're relying on attacking returns. You're relying on what, 6-7 goals potentially from him to compete with.
Yeah, but
players.
it's the clean sheets, isn't it? If he ends up getting sort of 14, 15 clean sheets, and City have had seasons in the past of 20 plus, by the way. I think those days are gone. But, if he gets 15 clean sheets, 7 goals, he'll be right up there again. So
I mean,
he's
A. I mean, I'm sort of thinking we're making the case to maybe push him up even more, but I think A probably is the sensible.
There's still an element of doubt, isn't there? They have got other players, and we don't know for sure that Maresca will use him in that way. We haven't even seen him back into training yet, so.
Okay, he's going into A.
Is that wind going crazy on the mic?
Nope. Your curtain is, though. Look at your blind. Look at that. Look at it go. Is that a sign O'Reilly's going to have either an S or an F season? Yeah. Okay.
It's like Final Destination.
It is.
About to die.
Yeah, well, please don't. We'll get some good views, though.
Well, in that case.
Another Man U player. We go over to Mateus Cunha. He signed, obviously, beginning of last season to fit Amarim's system, playing in one of those 10s. Amarim then left, and Carrick took over, playing with sort of more orthodox wingers. We saw glimpses of how good he is. I mean, he's an incredible player. He had a pretty decent World Cup as well. I rate him really highly. It's all about his role, isn't it? His role in the team. I mean, if Rashford goes, there isn't really anyone else on the left other than Dorgu, right? But I guess Dorgu is a more natural fit for that system. So I mean, does that put you off the fact he hasn't really got a clear identity in the team?
I mean, Dorgu is there, Rashford is there, Mount can play there. He has used Brian and Burma on the left wing in like random off games. Ahmad as well, like in a pinch, I think, more than anything else. But he obviously played 9 for Brazil, didn't he? And Sesko, I'm not fully confident on his minutes. I don't think the Brian and Burma at 9 works in all the games. So there's potentially a world where Cunha plays quite a few minutes at 9, just because of the way the season pans out. But yeah, I don't know. I feel C probably. Like I just worry a little bit.
I'm seeing him in teams. Like
for good reason at the start. I think the games are that good that it's fair enough. But
no penalties, no free kicks, difficult routes to points,
a lot
quite
of
pricey.
Like he does that. You know, he scores bangers and fair play to him. But you can't always guarantee you're going to repeat that.
If you were to pick one out of Mbeumo and Cunha for the season, I think we've both agreed we go Mbeumo, right?
Well, if it's for the season, it's essentially like playing draft, right? And who do you have more faith in just turning up all the time? And it's going to be Brian and Burma.
Yeah, that's what I think. So I think that's why we put Cunha in C.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
More exciting and fun player to watch, though.
He's a fantastic player. I love him. Okay. You having a nice time?
Oh, this is lovely, yeah. This is going to go on a while, though, isn't it?
It is going to go on a while. We've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've done 9. Nearly a sixth of the way there.
Is that Bruno?
Bruno now. Yeah, 3 Man United players done.
Do you know what? To skip out on time, I don't think we just go automatically S, though. Is that controversial? Because he's a lot of money.
You can't be thinking about skipping time already. You're only 20 minutes in. I mean, we could, to be fair, though, this should potentially be an easy one, right? Can you see any world in which he doesn't hit 200 points again and is like the best captain option versus Haaland for the rest of the season?
I mean, I can, because he has done that before where he hasn't reached those heights. And again, if you're a betting person, you take the under on the assists. He literally got the assist record, didn't he? So to get close to that would be record breaking, almost. So it's. Yeah, I don't know. I just think because of the price, I think he's definitely like a fantastic pick, and especially at the beginning. But he has to do a hell of a lot at that price. We're talking Salah prices of years gone, who's hit 250 points and even up to 300. So I would put him A.
I mean, Alan says we're raising an FPL pick, not value pick. We are actually taking value into consideration.
You have to take it into account, right? Yeah, because otherwise it just put all the most expensive players right at the top and all the cheap ones right at the bottom.
Yeah,
mostly because they're supposed to be priced based on their point potential.
I mean, I just think he's going to get 200 points and he's going to be a key man for us again this season. And I can't see any world in which he isn't. Right,
I won't fight you.
Yeah, I think he's sort of like an S minus. I think he's not as powerful as potentially he was, last season. But we know he's got routes to points and we know what he's capable of. I think he's an S tier.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to keep him in S. Might look stupid. We had our 3 players last year in S, by the way, were Palmer, Salah, and who's the other one? It was someone else who did absolutely terribly. Like the 3 worst players. Okay, Igor Jesus. Now this one's an interesting one because you called me a friendly merchant last week for having him in my draft, and then I see you going over to the traitor that is Andy Slippers, and you show your draft, and lo and behold, you got bloody Igor Jesus in your team. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I don't even want to try and defend myself, to be honest. I watched a friendly and it looked really good. No, I wanted a 6 million striker, and I'm not a fan of any of the others outside of Calvert-Lewin particularly, but I asked Mark who he thought was on pens, Mark Summons, obviously, and he said that he thinks Igor Jesus might be on pens ahead of Gibbs White.
Wow.
He's fairly confident on that. He said, in fact, his words were, Gibbs White, I'd only give about a 30% chance to take pens. Now, he's obviously bearing in mind Chris Wood in that equation, who presumably would be on pens above all of them, but he has to be on the pitch to do that. So Jesus has got a shout for pens, and maybe if Wood's phased out or has another big injury or they sign another striker, was something else Mark said they might do, that guy might come but then not take pens, so then Jesus is still in the frame. So there's an unknown around there. But essentially, if you give me like 6 million on pens, I'm always going to be interested.
With the greatest respect to Mark Southerns, he's absolutely useless at calling Forest players. I mean, he did have success with Brennan a few years ago when he had him in his team and he did well, but I wouldn't trust him when it comes. He's a bit like all of us, right? When we're watching our own teams, we all get a bit blinded with things.
He did take a pen though at one point last season. I do remember that.
If he's on pens, he's quite high up there. I think he's because I rate Glasner. I think Forest are going to have a good season. So he's a B or a C plus or a B minus on pens. But
do you think Wood and Jesus are going to start together?
That's I wouldn't have thought so.
No,
I think Wood's done, isn't he? He's got to be. He was done 3 years ago, then got 20 goals, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they don't play together and he kind of plays off a striker, but
the safe option here is a C tier.
Let's do that.
Okay. But I think we agree that with pens we'd probably put him up to a B.
Yeah, CB. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. That was our longest discussion so far. On bloody Igor Jesus. Unbelievable.
Wait, you called me out. I had to defend myself.
This is Palestra. So this is a player I like that you told me off for having in my team pretty much, and James did as well. Obviously, new wing back we think playing for Chelsea. Although, as I showed last week, Alonso does like different formations. He is very, very, very attacking. If you watch the highlights of their recent friendly, as Caleb from our BlackBox chat pointed out, he was playing as a 9 at some points. He is of a very, very attacking mould. He will get forward minutes. That's the thing. Is he going to play? Could James come in if he plays at right back? If he is Esteval going to play with him as well? That's two very attacking sort of wingers and wide players. It's a hard one to call. I know what you're going to say. Doesn't do the DEFCON. Minutes risk. You're going to put him quite low, aren't you?
Well, I think if we had that wild card category, he would be one that would go in there because it's just so unknown. And I think I've heard someone on some pod describe him as like a Ben Chilwell or Marcos Alonso type, like, could just end up in the box and get goals and stuff. But yeah, just don't know. I just don't know how he plays. We don't know how he's going to adapt. It's fine looking good in a few friendlies. Do you know he starts? The answer is no for nearly everyone straight away. So I don't know how you can rate him as an option at least yet. I know we're trying to do it for the season, but as a result, I think I have to put him in like E.
In E tier? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it could be easily very wrong. But
yeah. I mean,
he starts, I've said it already. We don't even know what system he's going to play. 4 at the back or three at the back with wing backs. We just don't know.
Well, it's a bit like when Frimpong signed for Liverpool, wasn't it? We were all very, very excited about Frimpong. We thought really attacking, going to play in that Trent role. And then how many points did he get last season? About 40 or 50 points?
Yeah, well, a lot of that's injury as well, I suppose. But yeah, it's a good comparison. We've seen this a lot now. It's very, very hard. Even the most attacking defenders that we have, that we associate with being great going forward, even like the Lux and Manoz, they rarely actually hit like crazy numbers in a season.
Yeah.
I think it's like the days of Trent hitting like 14 assists or whatever it was are just like gone.
Don't forget Odin. Chelsea fixtures are good is irrelevant. This is a season-long tier. I think we probably do put him in E, but he might be the first player I put in an E category that I might start the season with. Because if we do,
oh my God,
if we do get some indication that he's going to start game week 1, and he's got that run, I'd be very, very tempted by him. He's much more exciting than like Mosquera, isn't he? Or someone like that to start game week 1.
Maybe the crowds I associate are just wrong, but I haven't seen any serious manager pick that player. No. And I think there's probably a very good reason for it.
Stop selling him to me. People, this is probably our most divisive one so far. Tanji says, he is mad. We've got a Leeds defender we don't know, can't even pronounce his name, plays in B. I think based on what we know, I think he's right, but...
Oh, you can move it up.
No. I think you're probably right. I think that is he could easily just be another nobody, or he could be an S. We don't know. Okay, Gabriel. So this is where we've got this is where the value has to come in, right? Because if it wasn't about value, it would be the easiest S tier in the world. He's going to get probably 200 points or close to 200 points again. He costs 8 million. He plays for Arsenal, but he's in very, very few teams that I'm seeing because when you've got Haaland and when you've got Fernandes, if you're chucking a Palmer in there as well, maybe Saka a bit later on, he's going to be very, very hard to get. Do you think he's worth 8 million? I guess that's the question.
I think he probably is. Just about. I'd say he actually scored under. I mean, the XG is random on centre-backs anyway, isn't it? Does the ball land on his forehead at the corner or not is sometimes a bit of a lottery for those numbers. But the difference between Arsenal defence and everyone else is just huge. His nailedness. It's not just goal threat, it's assist threat even, and from set pieces.
Yeah.
Just a magnet. Bonus, Defcon as well, the only Arsenal defender that reliably gets it.
The thing is, I mean, last year, I mean, you know, he was very close to everyone, wasn't he? Like Raya, Timber, you know, you could have any of those three, and obviously Gabriel scored them by quite a lot, but now there's like 2 million difference between them, 2.5 million difference. And if Timber's fully fit, would you pay the extra 1.5 for Gabriel? Would you pay 2 million more than Raya, for example, if you wanted to cover the defence?
I think you would for periods, yeah, but it's a fair point. I mean, they tried to buff fullbacks this year a little bit, and Timber, I think, came off better than Gabriel. He lost some points, didn't he, in the BPS changes, and the likes of Timber, more attacking wing-back or fullback, would benefit, but I mean, we still just don't know on him for the minutes, do we?
I mean, as Zalkin said, anyone who scores 200 points and is 8 million is a mandatory pick. You can't really argue with that.
It's tough, isn't it? But then you've got like a Tarkowski, you've got like 170 points or whatever, isn't he? 6 million. So
yeah,
30 points for 2 million. That makes Tarkowski absolutely S tier, doesn't it?
I think he's an A, probably.
I want to say, yeah, 8.5 between A and S, but
I think if you get an injury to Fernandes or Haaland, he's there in everyone's team, right? Like it's a complete no-brainer. But
well, I think he still might be in everyone's team because I still think people might get rid of one of Haaland or Bruno after like 6 or 7 weeks when the fixtures change, and then as a result, you just can have Gabriel and virtually anyone you want. You know, especially if Palmer and Saka just don't end up being options for us. Who else is there even to spend money on?
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think A's probably right. Like A plus, like you said. Good, interesting price though. If they'd gone any lower, he would have just been an auto pick. Yeah. So 8 million was pretty good for him. I think we're at the big man. We are the big man himself, Haaland. I mean, interesting that we've had Gabriel and Haaland sort of next to each other because it's the same conversation, right? Haaland is obviously an S tier player. He is going to break so many records. He will be captain for most of us in pretty much every home game this season, I imagine, unless you're being brave and going about him and doing the bench boost strategy, I guess, at the start. But the question is price. Like, is he going to be worth, what was he, 15 million? 15.5?
15.5. I don't think he is worth 15.5, honestly. I mean, if he scores like he did in his first season and gets 30 goals, then yes, but I can't see that happening. But I mean, I said the same for Bruno. I don't think we have any S tier, and I think that's because of the pricing. The idea of pricing every player correctly in FPL is that theoretically every single person should be and you're looking season long, it should be all the same tier, right? You've priced everyone so perfectly that their value matches out to the points they're going to get, and you should just have one tier, and we've done a perfect job. So I don't know, going to the extremes like this guy's mispriced, he's that good. You have to have him is quite tough. So I still would say that he's A, even along Bruno, but because of the fact that one of those two you just slap the armband on and you just kick back, and that's going to happen all season. Do we take into account the damage he'll cause you if you just don't own this guy on various weeks, or the mental health issues you might run into in certain weeks? I suppose we do, right? So for peace of mind, you just go, he's S, and why are we even discussing it?
I mean, what Zalkin says, when he goes on a dry run, he's not going to be worth it.
I know about that.
Yeah, we both do.
18 game weeks, I think. I got
we both
2 points from him.
I think I had 16. I think I sold him just before you did that season.
Yeah, literally mental. But people, that just goes straight out the window for people. It's like, he's a great captain every week. Check my captain returns from Haaland last season.
And again,
absolutely
we don't know what it's going to be like with life under Pep. Like, we don't know how much of an impact that's going to have. And I mean, I ran Haaland through the BlackBox AI that we've got on the Patreon website now. And I said, taking into account Haaland, how many goals you need to get really to justify 15.5, and it came up with a number of 27 goals to justify it. And I thought about it, and I thought, you know what? I think that's probably about right. I think he's going to need to get 27 to 30 goals to be in our seasons for pretty much the whole season. As soon as he goes on a run of like 3 or 4 games without a goal, we're all going to be looking at it and thinking, can we spread that money around?
Well, he just gets 2 points when he does nothing, which is probably a strange phrase to say, but there are other players that can do nothing and pick up something.
Yeah. Yeah. Can he get 27 goals? Of course he can. Like you would expect his minimum floor to be 27 to 30 goals, but it's not easy to get 27 goals in the Premier League.
Probably need a few penalties. Penalties play such a part. If they just have like an up season for penalties and they get 12 and he scores them all, I think he missed last season as well when I had him. I don't know. We talked too long on him. Just stick him in S and let's move on.
You think S, even with his price?
Yeah, go on, put him in S.
Yeah, go on, put him in S. Go on, Harlan, I'm going to bat you to get your 30 goals. Interesting one, though. Gunner's Goals in the chat, one of our newest patrons. Hello, Amanda. Good to see you. Van Dijk. Oh, he was the other one in S tier last year. Van Dijk, Salah and Palmer. I mean, it doesn't really get much worse than that.
Van Dijk did right in the end, didn't he?
Wow, he wasn't an S tier, was he? He was bang average.
Well, he had large periods of doing nothing. Again,
yeah.
I suppose
he did all right for somebody who got 2 goals in one game, things like that. Liverpool are in trouble, though, I think, defensively, particularly this year. I mean, they're very reliant on what now? Van Dijk and Xhaka, is it the new centre back? Because Gomez is injured. The other guy who got injured last year isn't due back for a while. If they get another injury, I don't know what they do. Like, what happens if Van Dijk gets injured? They're going to be bringing back Nat Phillips on loan.
It'd be Endo or Gravenberch at centre back, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that doesn't exactly inspire a lot of confidence, does it? I think Van Dijk's got to be winding down now, though, isn't he? I mean, he's
actually unbelievable in the box, though, isn't he? He's such a threat, even for the World Cup. Again, just so threatening. Every set piece that goes in. People talk about O'Reilly's threat, and it's from open play, but Van Dijk's arguably got a bigger threat, and it only comes from set pieces.
I mean, I've got absolutely no interest in owning him at all.
Really?
I don't want him.
He does the DEFCON, so it's hard for me to let him go.
6'5" as well. He's bloody pricey. I think Liverpool are going to be a lot poorer defensively this year. They're going to really go for it under Iraola. He's not exactly known for his clean sheets, is he?
Just to counter, plays every minute, gets DEFCON, does goals, plays for one of the top 4 teams, is only 6.5 for a player that could... How many points did he get? Anyone in the chat tell us? It's between 150 and 200, surely.
I'd guess about 170 points as a guess. I don't really know.
I'm thinking season long. I still think I want to say A, but maybe I can be tempted into B.
I think he's an easy B.
Okay.
For me, I mean, if I was picking Van Dijk, Gabriel, O'Reilly, why have we got that Leeds defender in A tier?
You watch. Let's come back to this.
How did that happen? Okay, well, we're rating him higher than arguably one of the Premier League's greatest ever defenders, but, what can you do? I'm putting him in B.
Okay. We're not saying he's a better defender than Van Dijk, are we? We're saying 5 million for a DEFCON defenders. Well, which one are you more likely to start the season with from those two?
I'm not picking Van Dijk. I'm tempted by that Leeds. I've got the name in front of me, so I'm not going to try and risk butchering it. Mihajlovic.
He's done it again.
Well done. I'd go for him over Van Dijk, I think. 6'5's too much. Especially when you can have O'Reilly at 6'5 as well when he's back. One you like. Talk about doing the DEFCON. Here's a man who loves to do the DEFCON. It's James Hill. Massive price increase from 4 million to 5.5. Obviously, no one's really considering him too much at the start of the season because the fixtures are tough. But we spoke about him last week, didn't we? And said we think he's going to be a factor for us. Question for me is he going to be better value than Trevor at the same price, who also sometimes gets DEFCONs, has more of an assist potential as well, might be playing very high up the pitch, in that system. I don't know. I think it's a bit of a toss-up between them. I like him, though. It just depends what Bournemouth are like. If Bournemouth are conceding goals every week, he's not going to be a factor for us. But if they can keep the odd clean sheet, he gets his DEFCONs as regularly as he got last year, then he will be, a very, very highly scoring player. Loves an own goal, though. That's another thing that annoys me with him. He's got, 2 own goals when he was playing last year?
I think so. And wasn't it like in close weeks as well? Because he's not considered at the beginning, again, I just have to be mindful that that's causing me to be biased. He does actually show in quite a lot of solo souls in rotations right from the beginning. And his DEFCON rate, I think, is predicted to be the highest out of all defenders in the first 6 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, how many clean sheets is he going to get in those first 6?
Well, yeah, going by reports so far, not very many. D, C, something like that. You want to go lower, do you?
Oh, no, I'm just hovering around. I'm between D and C. I'll let you pick.
Let's go C because I love DEFCON. Is that all right?
Yep. Into C goes. It's a democracy.
We spoiled our little pattern. We've gone 3-3-3
It was,
eventually.
oh, yeah, it was nice. Okay.
We're going to have a lot of people at the high ends. That surely shows that FPL have done a good job.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, agreed. Mark will be happy with this, I think. Oh, another DEFCON boy. But a bit more risk on this one because everything I'm reading on Reddit and from Twitter are saying that old Tarkovsky, who was obviously so good for us last year without being particularly good, like Everton-wise and well, I mean, he was all right, wasn't he? But, I mean, he got nearly 200 points at 5-5. At 5-5, was he 6? I think he was 5-5 to start last season. He's now gone up to 6. But the Reddit people are saying they want him out. They want O'Brien in. They want it to be O'Brien and Branthwaite.
Have they met Mr. David Moyes? That's my question to them. I like him again. DEFCON, obviously. I'm going to get very boring. But it's quite an expensive price to pay. I think he's good to begin with if you just don't want to make any moves. Everton's fixtures are pretty good for a while. So he does smell of a player you can just leave in. And it's what we expected last season. Exactly. Pick him at the start, leave him in, you'll be happy. And you definitely would have been. But we're looking for the same thing at a cheaper price, aren't we? If we can find it. So, hence the lead centre-back that I can't say the name of. Someone like that who maybe could get close and cost a lot less. So, I don't know. Probably.
Do you think? Do you have any worries about his minutes?
Not really. I mean, he's got another year older. The other players are good, but they can't stay fit. Those players we're talking about, Branthwaite and O'Brien and stuff like, the best quality of a player is availability, and they haven't shown that yet. So until that happens, it doesn't really concern me too much.
What do you reckon A or B then?
Are we going that high? I want to say C.
I'm going to say C. Okay.
There's going to be a lot of C, though, in there.
Very divided in the chat.
Matter?
Some D's, some B's, some A's. I mean, I'll go C because I am going to listen to Reddit maybe a bit more than you, and I'm a bit more worried about his minutes.
If he gets 170 points, we look stupid again.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If he plays 90 minutes for the whole season, he will, because he doesn't need to do anything different. Like, it's not like Everton are. They're not a great team, are they? He got 170 points playing for a pretty crap team, getting a couple of goals, and DEFCON every week. He's going to do exactly the same thing.
On that note, around the goals, by the way, he should have scored a hell of a lot more. So many times did he just miss or have something cleared off the line. Like, he is a magnet to the ball. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see him hit 4 or 5 in a season.
Emmanuel's Killy just joined us. He says Palestrin E is
They're
ridiculous.
really upset about that, aren't they?
I am. I'm upset with it as well because I think he could be an A tier player if he's playing at wing back and in the role. But we just don't know. So we've gone conservative. You can't put him in A, can you? We don't even know if he's going to play like regular minutes.
Well, let's say he even gets regular minutes. To go back on it, he's a fullback in a DEFCON meta for a new team and a new manager who didn't really get that well. Didn't do that well for clean sheets. He's new to the league. He could be way better. I'm not going to say definitely. We just don't know, do we?
Yep. Manzambi. Obviously, amazing World Cup for him. I don't think many people had heard of him. Great World Cup for Switzerland. Aston Villa signed him up to replace the many players they've lost over the summer. Rumours McGinn's out now as well. Looks like he's done something. And that engine room. Losing Tielemans, losing McGinn. We saw at times last season when they lost those players, they really, really struggled. And it looks like they might again, but they've signed a very dynamic player who can play in lots of different roles, and I think he's going to love playing under Emery. But I mean, a nice price, 6 million. Any temptation?
I mean, he was great at the World Cup, wasn't he? So good. But
Loved
again, how we've seen this. Villa have done this even with like the likes of Gessard and people like that. They've signed players with a lot of potential. Bailey, Sancho, maybe there's other names and other teams that have obviously done this. And every example I list, you can list one where it's actually worked. So yeah, I like the kid. He looks really good. Obviously got big physical frame. The fact that Rodgers has left, he's probably going to play a lot of minutes, but he's so unknown that I don't see anyone picking him. Do you?
No, not because we've got such good options at 6. If he was 5'5", I think he'd be really tempting. But at 6, when you've got like Lefay, you've got Stack, you've got like even someone like Hinchelwood who plays in the 10, who we know can get goals. There's a lot of players I'd pick over him. He's got potential. I don't think we can put him in like E or F, but I don't think we can put. I think he's D, isn't he? He's probably the same level as like Rayan.
Yeah, maybe even E, but E or D, I'd say. I really don't want him to be that way. I mean, we've had people like, say, Amichu come in, and you might have ranked him around there, and then he went on and absolutely killed it in years gone. So
he's going to play. The thing is, he's going to play, and Emery will find a way to get Villa, in and around the top 6, because he always does. And
although he did really well in the World Cup, I don't think his goal and assist record is that good. So the snapshot that we got, well, me and you probably, because it's the only time we'll have ever seen him play, is the whole story.
I do worry a bit about Villa this season. I mean, I know I literally contradict exactly what I just said, but I know he says he always finds a way, but I think this could be one of his biggest tests yet. The squad doesn't look great, if I'm being honest, and I don't think Garnacho is a good signing in any capacity. Okay, D or E, I'll leave this one to you.
Let's go E.
Let's go E.
Otherwise, I just can't see anyone being down there.
Yeah. I haven't any Fs yet.
Even Palestra shouldn't be there.
I think there is an F on here that we might consider.
Oh, okay.
Are we going to make it to Robbie? No, we're going to stick with Rice. 7-5 for Rice. Oh, I called him last season, didn't I? On this very tier list video, I said Rice is going to have his 200-point season. Didn't quite get there, but he wasn't far off. I benefited absolutely nothing from it because I had him for all of his blanks and missed all of his big hauls, which is typical. Can't see anything changing too much with him. He's going to have free kicks, going to have corners again. We'll pick up Defcon. Arsenal should do all right. There's quite a lot to like, isn't there, at 7-5 with him? Got lots of different routes to points.
Yeah, because he's not a new toy, and probably because of the World Cup and not being back yet, he's kind of out of sight, out of mind. But the Bruno G signing, how would you say his name? Solace?
Yep, Solace. Quantum of Solace.
Yeah, but, if he's good and he does take some set pieces, then that nerfs his appeal a little bit as well. Well, a lot of his appeal, to be fair. But then if he goes to 6, does he just get Defcon every week? Maybe. I want to say D, but maybe I'm being harsh.
A D for Declan. That's crazy.
Think of all the midfielders that are under 7.5 that are options. I think he's competing with a really stacked list of players.
I'm very surprised that you've
And if you want to go spend some money in midfield, do you not start looking at the ones that are only a little bit more expensive?
Well, I was thinking B. You're thinking D.
Well, let's go see them.
I guess we meet in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people saying in the chat, it depends what happens with Camaras, right? Like, they've accepted the offer. He's coming in. What is that?
He's 100% an Arsenal player now, yeah.
Yeah, so what happens with that midfield? Is it a double pivot? Is it, does Rice become more defensive and just let Camaras bomb? Again, there's unknowns now, right? We don't know what that's going to look like. And I think Rice would do well to get near 200 points again. It could happen, obviously, but he needs to, right? Really, because like you said, there's players around him that can get 170, 180 points for maybe even a bit less. Yes, Rice was a C in last year. That was all down to Andy, though. I wanted to put him higher, but I think this year he is probably a slightly worse. I mean, what's he last year? 6'5", and now he's 7'5".
I think he was 6'5", yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he'll do well to match it. I can't see many of us going there for 7'5". I think you're probably right. We'll put him in C. We could be completely wrong, but yeah, we can say about a lot of things. Okay, this one I think is showing up on quite a few solvers these days. I know he's quite hot on review. I'm not sure what he is on Solio. Old Dominic Solanke, 6 million. He's been absolutely terrible for me whenever I've owned him, whether that goes back to Bournemouth, when I managed to dodge every goal he scored, when I had him for Spurs, when I had him for about half the season. I think he got me 1 return in the whole time I had him. We think he's going to be leading the line for Spurs. We're not totally sure what they're going to be under De Zerbi. I think they're going to be better, but we don't know how much better. On pens, the thing is, his role in the team is just not good.
What role?
Well, what role indeed? I mean, all I've seen from him playing for Spurs is link-up play. link up play, win some fouls, don't really get near the goal, like do everything Harry Kane does without actually scoring goals. How many goals again does he need to get? He's going to need to get you 15 goals to be worth it. I just can't see it.
Yeah, I'm harsher on strikers, but again, it's more the minutes thing with them. I just don't know whether I can trust the minutes. And certainly while Richarlison is there, you're never going to be fully comfortable. I know Richarlison's probably leaving, but there's also talk they might sign another striker.
He's had an injury as well. He's coming back from that. I think this is an E or an F. Probably not an F because he's got pens, but it's probably an E for me.
I'm inclined to go with that, yeah. We could look very silly on that one, but yeah.
I just can't see him getting anywhere near the amount of goals needed to justify. I mean, I know it's only 6 million, but
it's just the minutes. Again, if he starts and he's on penalties, he suddenly goes way up that tier list because I don't care about. Well, I do care obviously about him getting goals and getting points, but at least before the match has kicked off, he's now a pretty decent option and he'll show well on markets and everything. But I just don't have the faith yet.
If you're seeing Solanke in teams, they're using review. That's all I'm saying, and I stand by that. I don't rate him at all.
You say it like it's a bad thing to use review.
I didn't say that. You've inferred that from my tone, but that doesn't mean that's what I mean. I'm just saying. Andy's boy next. We've got Wright from Coventry. Obviously, the key thing here is he's 5'5". We've seen strikers come up from the Championship and do well in the past. Igalo springs to mind. Well, maybe they signed him, but he was definitely at Watford. I mean, we've seen it not work out so well. He's probably the pick, though, isn't he, of the promoted strikers?
See, I don't know. I think Maberni's probably the pick of the...
Christ. He's not even on this list. Don't worry, he's not coming.
Is he not?
Oh, no.
At least with him, I think his minutes are nailed and he's definitely their central point, whereas Wright can play a bit of left wing. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up signing someone to compete, whereas it doesn't look like Halar. Yeah, I mean, 5.5 strikers on pens, which we think have proved value before in the game. Think of like Pookie and the like, who've come up from a promoted team, not fancied, and done pretty well. So it definitely can happen. But outside of the use of a bench boost, which does make him at least an option to begin with, I really don't like it and wouldn't have him in my team because although there are exceptions to the rule like Pookie, the general rule is they just don't do very much at all.
Yeah, I mean, the only saving grace he's got is he is like the cheapest starting striker, right? Unless you just dead end and have a 4-5. So the fact he's 5'5" does at least mean he's going to play. He's going to have pens. He's probably playing for the best of the 3 promoted teams. I don't actually hate him. I think you can make a case for having him in your team for the season, which is I don't think you get that with the other players we've got in E.
Yeah, maybe I'm harsh then. I want to put him F, but I could still think he's a good option to start the season because of that bench boost. So that's a strange situation to be in.
Well, I want to put him in D, so I guess we'll take the middle ground then and put him in E, right?
Go on then, yeah. I just need to turn my light on because my kids closed my door and I'm in pitch black.
You are in a shroud of darkness. Yeah, that's fine. I'll spin the wheel. Sorry, right. Feel bad about that one. Oh, here we go. Here we go. The content creator's favourite. I can't do it. I can't do it, Luke. I can't
what a surprise that the most obvious pick in the game has decided for some reason he's going to be against it.
I just don't. This is Szoboszlai. I just don't think he is as good as everyone makes out.
This is your calling card, man.
7 million, he's going to get 150 points. There's better players that can get 150 points.
You could well be right, sir, but all the midfielders that you'll use transfers or chasing more points will end up with less, probably.
I just think he could be playing in a really deep lying role. He could be filling in at right back because they've got so few options. They've got a player in Wirtz now who he's spoken about wanting to play as the 10. I can only see him regressing. He scores so many free kicks and long range. I don't know. I know he's got lots of different routes to win. It's the pens, isn't it? If he's got pens over Isak, I get it.
Do you think even if Isak has got pens over him, do you think Isak is going to play every minute and stay fit all season?
No.
Okay, so straight away, that argument. How many pens did Liverpool even get last season? Like sometimes It's nice for them to be on pens, but they don't even necessarily need to score that many to be a good option.
We're just going to massively disagree on this one because I disagree with everything I'm reading.
I know his stock has started to come down in pre-season because of this whole, we might be a bit deeper. But we've seen, this is almost the exact same conversation that people had about Bruno. And I know he's not on Bruno's level as a player, but he's a similar mould in the sense that he's an all-action midfielder, takes the set pieces. I know Bruno's got more of a pen shout, but he was more expensive. And then people go, he's playing a bit deep. But then he can do the DEFCONs. And then he can fill in 10 when Wirtz goes off for 15 minutes. Then he can go right wing.
Does he get DEFCON from midfield? I know he did it right back, but from like a deep lying role, was he getting DEFCON?
I mean, if you're in central midfield, you've got a shout anyway. You get recoveries. You just have to get a bit lucky for recoveries, in certain games.
I'm really trying, Luke. I'm really trying to like absorb all the information, see that everyone has him. I know he's really high on all the solvers, and I can't do it. He's the same price as Foden. I can't pick him over Foden.
I would recommend for you not to do it then, because he's exactly the kind of pick that will probably get like 2 points, 3 points, 2 points, and you'll be like, I hate this guy, get him straight out.
Yeah.
And other people will leave him in, and then he'll start to tick, and then.
I mean, what would you have him in? A?
Before we found out about the Wirtz news, it would be S easily. But maybe that has a slight factor. And then because of the pen situation, like you say, if Isak is just going to take him full time off of him, definitely drops him down. So I think A.
But I would have said B. So
you're the boss.
I'm putting him in B. I can't put him in A. I can't do it. Sorry.
What do the chat think? Do they agree with that?
Yeah, let us know about that one. I think that's sort of I'm sort of between B and C. You're between S and A. Like, we are quite different on that. Let us know. Sabozlai, what do you all think about that one? Who's right? Me or Luke? Probably Luke. Let's be honest. People saying C, people saying B. It's fine. Okay, that's good. Tavernier. Bournemouth pen merchant who hasn't even got pens.
Yeah, lovely player. I'm not as high on him as a lot of people seem to be. I think his minutes are good, so that's great. Nice price, exciting player, exciting team. At least last season, and looks like it will be again. Sort of flatters to deceive, doesn't he? In the sense, every game you watch him and think, how's this guy not managed to score multiple points and then just managed to dodge them? But stacked bracket. 6 million midfielder is very competitive.
I have no interest whatsoever if Kluivert's on pens. Absolutely
really?
None. Absolutely none. And he will Kluivert is like the best penalty taker I've ever seen.
Oh, I don't doubt for a second that Kluivert is on pens. It's just how fit he can stay and how many minutes he'll be on the pitch, right? If Kluivert goes back to how he was before, even and he's starting, he still used to come off around 70th minute. So then Tavernier will have him for like 15, 20. This is without Krupi, of course, because Krupi's probably going to be on them when he comes back. You want to say what? C or D? Do you?
D. I want to say D. I've just no interest. Absolutely no interest at all.
Okay, I won't fight you. I think he's probably C, but D's fine.
D is. Oh, look at it. We shaved off 15 seconds there.
We're going to need to keep doing that. Sorry, listener. I know you're loving this, but it's hot in here.
They're doing an Andy already. We're only a third of the way through.
Yeah, start getting stressed. Whatever the fuck you want, man.
Yeah. Thiago, interesting one. 8 million. Big price hike from last year. We've spoken already about strikers and how many points they'll need to get. Is he going to get 8 penalties, 9 penalties? I can't remember what it was. There was a lot of penalties last year. Are Brentford going to be as good? Obviously, Andrews overperformed, we think, a little bit based on what we thought. It's got Dango there. Dango loves to win a pen. Do you think at any point in this season you're going to pay 8 million for Thiago? I just can't see it. You're muted.
Sorry. This is a trap that we fall into, though, I think, where because he high rolled last season and he got a load of penalties, we convince ourselves that can't happen again. But if we look at just what he offers, he still is the top striker in the entire game last season for minutes. Never got subs, and if he did, he was the highest. It was like 89 minutes per start. which is a hard thing to find, a striker with that amount of minutes on penalties for a decent side. So similar to like the red-black thing at a casino, right? It can't come back again. It can't go back. Well, he has got penalties, so he could hit 10 penalties again. Like, it's not completely unheard of. You would take the under as a bet, wouldn't you? But there's nothing to say for sure that will happen. So I still think he holds some value just because strikers are... I don't think they're great, so therefore there's only a small pool that I would consider, if that makes sense. So then those few become quite valuable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think he's in the category of a valuable striker. I think when Pedro is 7.5 and people seem to favour him and the bookies are quite close with their goal markets, you can't put him overly high. But I do believe he's the third highest for goals projected for the season out of all players. Still,
I just think he's a 10 to 15 goal striker.
And if he doesn't get all those penalties, you're probably right.
Who's boosted by the fact he got loads of pens. I mean, take away 8, I think it was 8 pens he got.
Yeah.
He's getting, that's what, 14 goals? I think he's somewhere between, I think for 8 million, you've got to be getting more than that.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely he doesn't get as many pens as he got last season and gets far fewer goals. And maybe we have him for a period where Brentford have got a good run, but he's not like a main save, I'd say. I don't think we can put him any higher than C. I think C's the highest I'd go with him.
I'd say B. But I'm happy with C.
Sure?
Yeah. I'll just default to whatever you think is fine.
I don't want to... I keep saying it's a democracy. You can't... It's
No.
It's not really, though, is it? It's more fun as a dictatorship. Okay. C for Thiago. Yeah, it does seem a little bit harsh, given what he did. Okay, we've talked about... We can probably do this one quite quickly. We've had O'Reilly already. Gahey, one of the top scoring defenders of last season.
Yeah. I do think he high rolled a bit. I know he actually underperformed on his XG, I think, somehow, despite managing to score some absolute bangers and get a few dodgy assists. But can't be as
6
sure
million.
of his mins this time because Gvardiol's back, and he generally plays a left centre back role, which Gvardiol does play. I know that it's probably going to be a back three, and it's more likely that he'll compete with the likes of Diaz, but Diaz isn't completely just washed and gone. So, yeah, I'm not overly sure that he'll be able to play every minute now. So I don't want a player that's a centre-back that doesn't really do defcons, doesn't really have a goal threat, even though maybe that's harsh. He does have a bit of a goal threat, but...
I think he's similar.
How much is he again?
He's 6. He's 6. And I think he's similar in a way to Thiago, where I think that was his worldy season. I'm not sure he's going to get as many goals as he got last season. You know, he got a lot of those points when he was at Palace, and he was the target of like throw-ins and stuff, wasn't he? He's not going to have that same demand on him.
If Gvardiol plays similar minutes and he's 5.5, then you just won't pick him.
No.
So that makes him a bad option if that's the case. And I think there's... that seems to be what people think, that Gvardiol will play and Gabe will not.
I think we're aligned on this one. You can pick his tier.
I'm going to go D.
D?
But they'll probably be the second best defence.
Bloody hell, that's way lower than I was going to go.
Really?
But yeah, okay.
Go see them.
No,
I mean,
D.
If they get 16 clean sheets and he plays every minute, he's great. So
Gahey, no, do you know what? Gahey and D. I think, we'll go with you. You're the City man who supports United. If only Andy was here, he'd love this one. It's Mukiele, his marauding 4 million right back, who either scored, assisted, or got DEFCON every single bloody week, and I owned him for a grand total of 0 weeks of the season. It is, of course, Mukiele. 5.5, big price rise, and there are cheaper Sunderland defenders in Ballard and Alderete, even Hume at 4.5. What do you think? Overperformance again from Mukiele, or can he do it? Can he do it once
Still
more?
doing it in friendlies, isn't he? Apparently, it's like he's made a deal with the devil. This guy, literally, just everything he touches. That it just doesn't usually last. We have seen periods where people will go on these runs for ludicrous amounts of times, and eventually you start to question yourself and go, I just must be wrong. I think he is a great player, but I don't know. I can't see him matching that, and it's a lot of money to spend, isn't it?
He's almost the perfect player, though, isn't he? Because you know Sunderland are going to be good at home. You know he's either going to get DEFCON or attack. They can keep clean sheets. And, you know, you can bench him in the tougher games and not have to worry about it like you would do maybe with some of your midfielders or forwards who are a bit more money.
5.5. I don't know.
I mean, if he was a midfielder at 5.5, getting you... I mean, how many points did he get? 160 points?
Yeah, I'm not comparing him to midfielders, though. I know what you're saying. I think Diori.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
I don't think anyone starts with him, man. I think
I'm tempted. I'm tempted. Don't say it. Don't say it. I think Diori is way too harsh. I was thinking B.
Do we ask the chat on this one?
Yeah, go on, chat.
Should we put him in C in between it then? Sort of in between it.
Whatever I see two of first from the chat.
Just we'll put him in C and we'll go higher or lower, and he's going in B or D. We're not putting him in C.
Go on. Well, as soon as I've seen two of the same rating for Mukiele, okay, C, D.
Spam it with highers and lowers.
C, two C's. He's going in C.
Oh, for God's sake!
Thank you, Sora Deep and FPL Forest.
Crazy price.
I think that's crazy to put him in D, but yeah, I mean, to be fair, we have talked about overperformance. Maybe that is Sunderland. Diop. I struggled a bit for an Ipswich player. You might have noticed, so I went with Issa Diop for this one. 4 million. How do you rate a player like Issa Diop on a tier list?
Well, because he's a 4 million starting defender, that has great value, doesn't it? Because we haven't always had that, and therefore you can have him on your bench. He doesn't take up any of your budget or the minimal that you can possibly attribute, and we think at least he's just going to turn up and play. So you're never getting, well, you might get a 0-pointer, you might even get a minus pointer, but you've got the chance of points off of your bench, and you've got the chance of just random defcons and getting 3s and 2s. So there is definite value in having that. I think that can't be...
You're going to have to be bloody desperate to play him, though, aren't you?
You are, but even... What did Esteve get last season for Burnley? Did he get around 100 points, even though Burnley were battered?
Yeah, probably, something like that.
Yeah, 100 for 4 million. Like, when you look at the value, it's not that bad. You know?
This is a real range of tiers from the chat. I think he's a
but
D,
you have to bear
he?
that in mind, right? Like, if you get 100 points or around that for 4 million, 8 million for 200 and stuff. I know it doesn't work directly like that, but that's value, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you got to think he will probably replicate what Esteve got, because Ipswich are probably about as bad as Burnley are going to be. Yeah. But you can't. I don't think you can put him higher than
we
D.
don't know for sure he's even nailed to start at the beginning, right? Because there is Greaves and there is O'Shea, and we don't know back 2, back 3, or if he'll replace one. He probably does, but I don't know if we can say that for sure.
Do you have a strong argument against D?
No, do that. That's fine.
Okay. Interesting. A lot of people saying A for the bench options. Lots of people saying F because he's rubbish.
Do you think he's higher than that? Definitely.
Oh, you're going to love this one, Luke. You're going to love this one. I'm going to leave this one all to you. Yeah. It's your boy, Ismail Assar.
Yeah, This is my like spirit animal. Promises so much, underachieves every time.
He was hopeless last year, wasn't he? We both had him for quite a while.
The amount of open goals this guy will miss as well.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Was it 2 seasons ago where he actually came off the back of the season as the highest midfielder for XG? And this is when we had like Salah in there and other people. I don't know. Actually, I can't remember if Salah beat him or not, but he was certainly. I think he may have beat him. Either way, he was 1 or 2 for the whole season, and he was like almost unnoticed. Yeah, different manager, but there's a world we've already discussed around Mateta, where Mateta either leaves, gets injured, doesn't play. Sarr's next in line for penalties. He has always offered a goal threat, and I still think he'll always pop up. Like, say you're doing a free hit for Palace, like you're gonna have Sarr in it, aren't you? If he's starting, I think you'll have like Munoz, Sarr, Mateta, or something like that most of the time. But there are midfielders that do DEFCON and other bits and pieces and have set pieces that are cheaper. So he's probably not as high this year as I would have put him in previous years. Would you agree with that?
PP defender. Worst thing about owning Sol is watching him score in every competition except the Premier League.
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir.
But that shows you're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing. It's just not working.
6.5's just high again. It's the same thing, isn't it? There's good options at 6. I don't want to just keep putting players in C, but...
Well, that's where, if they've priced him perfectly, every player should go. That's really, shouldn't they? And it's like we're going, well, this one's slightly better value. This one's slightly worse. So it's like the yardstick is C.
True. You fighting me on C?
Well, this is why you've done too many tiers. I feel like if we had fewer, we'd have to be more direct.
Can you stop slagging off we're halfway through now. We can't. There's no going back.
Yeah, C's fine.
I can get rid of F if you want.
Well, you said there's one player to go in there, so I'm interested to see who it is now.
Yeah, so am I. I don't know why I've said that. we got to make sure we put one in. That's one rule. Yeah, that'll piss off the chat. Okay, it's Pedro Porro next. Found it hard to pick Spurs options because there isn't a huge amount of options really from their team. But we've already seen De Zerbi talking up Porro. Going to have some set pieces. Doesn't do the DEFCON though, but gets forward.
He does do DEFCON, just not that often, but he does do it.
Okay.
Something like 20% of games or something, maybe more even. He did it a lot towards the back end under De Zerbi.
Yeah,
he was certainly flirting very close nearly every game and then got it in a few. So that he is a player that offers everything. I guess similar to Mukiele, who I've just slagged off, plays obviously the same position a lot of the time in sense of right back, does some DEFCON, has some attacking threat, but Porro's is, I think, more sustainable. He's shown it for a longer period and obviously has some set pieces as well. I mean, the De Zerbi system just gets him into such threatening positions. We saw it again for Spain, what he can offer. I really, really like him. He's probably one of the few fullbacks, probably him and O'Reilly, where I'm like, yeah, I really kind of would be tempted. And I may even have started the season with him if he didn't go to the World Cup.
If Van Hecke is a sure start, so we're not 100% sure. We think he is going to be, but not 100% sure. If he was, would you pay the 0.5 extra?
I think so. Yeah.
See, I think we're quite different on this because I don't like him as an option. What are you thinking? A or B?
I think he's maybe I'm just too high. I think he might be even be A, but B.
Okay, we'll put him in B.
You can argue him down if you want.
Nah, we need to fill up the B tier. I'd probably be C
because he's at the World Cup. No one's talking about him, but I think he starts playing and the positions. People are always saying, "Oh, we want to play this game for fun." When you see the positions this guy's taking out, taking the set pieces, having shots, getting the odd DEFCON, people will be like. A wise man said to me once,
Luke, that points are fun, and he is a Spurs defender for 5.5. I think it's too much money for a Spurs defender. They finished like 4th from bottom 2 years in a row.
It's a completely different team now, They've got a whole 11.
Yeah, they'll be relegated next year. You wait. Okay, B for boy. I think that's a bit generous, but it's fine. I like this one. I think this is a really, really good pick. Oh, no, it's not the one I thought it was. Sorry, I don't think this one's a good pick at all. It literally went just off him. I don't like this one at all. I am seeing him in a few teams. Obviously, Andy had him in his team last week. It's Fernandez of Spurs. 6 million. DEFCON. Odd banger. That's it.
Yeah, is he in the frame for any set pieces or not? Not too sure on that.
Not your mate Porro there.
No. Until take some. Yeah, definitely a good player. Good signing. But is he an FPL pick? They're trying to make him on with the price, but it's quite difficult.
Well, I thought he was going to be less. I thought they might come in at 5.5 and be like a sort of a Casado type. I think 6 too much. I just don't think he's going to be a factor at all for us this season.
Really? Okay. So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking D or maybe even E.
Well, let's go E then. It's the stacked bracket, isn't it? So that's why we can justify it.
Yeah, okay, fine. I'm not going to fight.
How many 6 million midfielders would you pick over him? Like virtually
all of them. Exactly. That's what I mean. The one that we just missed out on the wheel was my favourite of the 6 million. But we'll come to him when the wheel lets us. Which is right now. What are the chances of that? It's gone straight to him. Enzo Lefebvre at 6 million. He got around 150 points last year. It took him a while to break into the team, didn't it? He was, he wasn't starting at the start. He then got penalties. Suddenly were really good. He's in a lot of teams now. I think he's a really, really good player, and I think he could easily get 150 points again. And for 6 million, if 150 is his floor and he could go on and have an even better season, get more starts, and 160, 170, I think he could be one of the best value picks in the game. I really like him. I would fight to put him quite high on this list.
Definitely exciting in the beginning. I think some of us are turned off because if you plan to bench boost game week 1, they play Ipswich, and you almost don't want to like have that hedge of Lefay. It is Lefay, Sunderland versus Ipswich, isn't it? I haven't made that up. Yeah.
Well, because of Diop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, and his mate in defence as well at centre back. Yeah, I mean, he's one of those players that does a bit of everything. He's got a bit of penalties, got a bit of set pieces, got a bit of defensive contributions. So it's hard not to like him. And he's a classy player. So
He's a fun player to watch. And I mean, is there any risk of his minutes?
Yeah, maybe, but I don't think so. I think he kind of established himself. You know, quite often, again, we've seen this where a championship player has been very creative or good, and then they've come up with a bit of a reputation and not really produced it. But then sometimes it takes them some time and then they start to. It's almost like a Buendia thing, I guess, with him, where he's come up with similar reputation and then not really done it, but eventually he's kind of justified himself as a fairly good Premier League player. But I think he's probably a level above that. I know we spent enough time. You tell me what you're thinking.
Well, I'm thinking B. You haven't said anything that massively makes me want to go against that. I think for 6, he could go on and have a good season. So, and I think he's better than a lot of the players we've got in the C tier.
Well, Ndai's appeal, although they play slightly different positions, is a midfielder who can get defcons and he's on penalties, right? Which is kind of what we're hoping for Lefay. I know Diarra's got a slice. And I think between the two, it's tough, but I'd actually go Lefay, which is against everything all the models say. So I'm hesitant to say that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are mentioning Europe. Obviously, Sunderland have got Europe that they might struggle.
And they're just general overperformance. Like,
yeah.
They massively did outperform their data once again. They did it in the Championship and they've done it again in the Premier League. How long does that go on for? So there's always that worry.
I'm putting him in B, though, unless you're going to...
No, that's fine.
Okay. Next we have... I had to find his picture on the fly, by the way. He's the only player I didn't seem to have a... Oh, he's there! For God's sake. I just had to find him. I did have him in. Harry Maguire! 5 million defender. Seeing he's quite popular, right? Seeing in quite a few teams at 5. Obviously got the 2 promoted teams to start. Offers you a bit more than Shaw, who is about as boring as it gets, but is 4-5. I guess the question is, how do you rate United this season for defending?
I think he's a fine pick to begin the season, but this is season long. Do I want a 5 million defender that doesn't really get DEFCON? I know he has got a little bit of a goal threat, and again, we don't know how nailed his minutes are, and there's a lot of games to play. So, to me, he's not a pick beyond the first few weeks and then into a wild card. So
I'm already looking to get rid of him after the first 2 weeks.
Yeah,
like any excuse.
You know, if suddenly he turns into like a guy who gets DEFCON, then he could be great, but doesn't really do it. Like, he does it every now and then, but not enough.
He's a D, really, isn't he?
Yeah, that's fine.
I think
maybe even E. I just wouldn't own him beyond the first. I think he's great for the first few weeks.
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's stick him in D. There are less names on this wheel now. We're even starting to be able to see who they are. Florian Wirtz. He talked about Szoboszlai. We think Wirtz is going to play in the 10 based on Areola's comments. Had a terrible season last year. I mean, you can dress it up however you want. Oh, there were glimpses of his potential and all that, but like, he was fundamentally bad from game week 1 to game week 38. There was glimpses, wasn't there? But there was nothing. He was never really an option for us at any point in the season.
He went on a pretty good scoring period quietly back end of the season, and he did show more than glimpses, I think. But
okay,
so I think that's a bit harsh. But yeah, in terms of pure numbers, goals and assists, I think because he does so well on the bonus points, you know, similar to the Kevin De Bruyne's and various other players we've had in the past. He was a Southampton guy. He was an absolute baller.
Tadic.
Thank you very much. That kind of player who looked good and then Yeah, it didn't really do much, but then if he got an assist, he suddenly had max bonus or something like that. I mean, Praz is really high on him, and I can see why, because he seems to think that he's going to get like double digits for goals and assists this season, which he's capable of, I suppose, going by his records before he got to the Premier League. And the price is kind. 7.5 is definitely kind. So I think there is potentially quite a lot of value there. I just, similar to you, I worry about Liverpool overall. The first few times, like let's say he doesn't start well and then he gets subbed again around the 75th, 80th minute, like people are just going to be like, here we go again. Mm-hmm. And then suddenly it's like, oh, okay, well, Szoboszlai went into 10 and he started to do really well. And they have got other central midfielders, right? Already one of them is missing out somewhere, from McAllister and the like. I don't know. I'm so torn on this one. I may well start the season with this guy. So
yeah. What, alongside Szoboszlai?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think he,
and the fixtures justify it, but again, we're not on it. We're on for season long, aren't we?
I think he's an easy B. I think C is probably too. He'd be a C if maybe he was in the same position as he was last year. But his stock has taken a rise with Iraola coming in.
I think B. There is a little bit of faith there, but I listen to people who are Praz is good at the game, and he thinks he might be higher. So I have to take that on board.
120 million. They've got to start showing something. Although 100 million is now just the going rate for any bang average player.
There's been a lot of expensive signings to the Premier League who have not done well. So it's not necessarily a yardstick.
I've just seen who the F tier player is. There is definitely one.
Okay.
Dango Otara, 6'5", pen-winning wizard.
Yeah, good numbers before he came to the Premier League. Never really got the minutes. Data always looked good, and then he started getting the minutes, and then he started doing the points. Fits into their all-action style. Transitions. Like him a lot. They've signed Anthony, haven't they? You wonder where his minutes...
Is Shada staying now?
Well, that's it. That's another factor we don't know. So, if they can keep all of those players, I do wonder if he gets subbed every now and then. But for that price, I think he could do pretty well.
Yeah, again, it's no free kicks, no pens, apart from he does win them.
No, but if his data's good, then I don't mind. Like similar to Sarr, right? Doesn't have any of those things either, but he threatens goals a lot.
I'd have Sarr over Dango,
plus.
I think.
You just have to have a plus finishing season, don't you? And then suddenly he's like, oh, okay, he's hit double figures for goals, and then he's definitely going to be value at 6.5 if he manages to do that. I think he's capable of doing it.
He's C or D for me. I think I'd lean towards D.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I think that's one that's really... People are saying... a few people saying D, a few people saying C. The chat is broadly agreeing with us in these. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Nothing like groupthink in FPL, is there?
What about Anton Stack? I had him in...
Lovely player.
I had him in quite a few of my drafts, Anton Stack. I think he's, just like you said, I think he's absolutely fantastic. Last year, I think we said it on BlackBox, didn't we? If he'd played every game, he was averaging some of the best points per minutes of all players. He would easily have hit sort of 170 points, 180 points. He has lost a bit of his appeal with Harry Wilson coming in, but gets DEFCON every now and then, still takes free kicks, gets forward a lot.
Yeah, he played a bit in the front three last year, and I don't know whether that will happen this time, but he should share it. He's, similar mould of a lot of good picks that we've already talked about, like Szoboszlai and the like, right? That might not be 100% sure of his position, but because he's got so many assets to his game, including DEFCON and set pieces, like I've already said, he's always in the frame to get something, and that makes you valuable. It's that stacked 6 million midfield bracket again, and I probably wouldn't take him over some of the others, so I think that hurts him.
Yeah, I think we've got Wilson in C. I don't think you can put him higher than Wilson, given Wilson's got a similar chance, right? I mean, I know Wilson's a little bit more expensive, so you could argue that, but I think he's probably in the same bracket as Wilson.
I think you can go C as well. Yeah, I mean that could end up being silly. He's probably How often did he get injured last season?
He's B to C. Well, he missed quite a few games, didn't he? Because he did get an injury.
I think that is an issue, though. You have to take that into account, right? If that's going to be who he is, then you don't want a player that you have to keep taking in and out.
One thing I will say, though, is that when he came back, he did play a lot. Like he was straight back in the team and started.
Oh, I think he's nailed. Yeah, when he plays, when he's fit. Sorry.
I could be tempted by a B.
But part of the appeal of these kind of players is also the minutes, right? And you were saying he has got the minutes, but the injury record is part of that. I don't know if he's got a bad injury record, by the way, but last season I seem to remember him not being there all the time.
Okay, we should probably move on to that. But if he's fully fit for the whole season, would you put him in B?
No, I'll keep him C.
Okay, he stays in C. Fine.
Oh, sorry, Stack.
I know, I love him. He's, like I said, he's been quite a few of my drafts. If I go with 2 6s in midfield, I probably would have him alongside Lefebvre. Oh, here he is, Cole Palmer. Now this is an interesting one because people are very hot on him. He's been in pretty much every draft that I've put together. But today he was out of the squad with an injury. Interestingly, though, there's been a few reports that maybe it wasn't an injury.
Just a knock is what I heard.
Or it was a disciplinary thing because he looked to be training and running and moving absolutely fine. So the trouble is
that just a rumour? Or is
it's just a rumour. It's just a bit of a rumour, but
okay.
Like he was doing quite an intensive individual training thing for someone who'd had a little injury or a knock or something like that. That's always going to be the worry, though, isn't it? Any knock he picks up, any little tweak, any little sprain, you're going to be worried. He's going to get an early sub. Something like that. So he's not like the S-tier player of old, but he is on pens. He's playing for a very attacking team. He's nailed when he plays.
He's nailed when he plays.
Well, he's nailed when he's fit. Sorry, you know what I mean. Nailed when he plays. No, he's nailed when he's fit and available. He's nailed. Which you can't say that about every other player in the Chelsea team.
It's just that whole thing, isn't it? I know it very likely was just a knock and he's going to be totally fine and back, but it's just another reminder that his fitness has just not been there for a while. And there's a reason, maybe beyond Tuchel just being crap at management, that he didn't take him. But I say that, he took a load of injured players in his place anyway.
Nailed when he's nailed, says P Army. Yep,
exactly. He's nailed 100% of the time he's nailed.
We want to see him play, don't we? He is a bit of a punt at the start of the season. I think a lot of people are going to have him from game week 4.
I think when the game launched, it was like SA, and slowly his stock has started to come down a little bit, not just based off of that injury,
but I agree.
Just the way Chelsea have kind of... It's only friendlies, right? But they've still just not set the world light yet.
I think he's B, though, isn't he? I mean, the potential's still there. He's obviously still got the talent. It's just the fitness. I don't think
he can make an absolute mockery of that price tag if he hits. Yeah. He's hit 200 lots of times. So I'd be tempted to say A, and it's just very much how we're feeling at the moment that we're a little bit low on him. But he's not in my draft, and I probably won't start.
I'm going to keep him. He's in my draft, and I don't think he's much higher than a B. So
okay, all right.
I think he's a bit of a hit and hope. I think what is he doing there? What is our Leeds defence doing?
You can move him down. Swap him with Palmer.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to keep him there. Anton Semenyo at Man City, 8.5 million. Spoken recently, hasn't he, about Maresca wanting him to play very, very wide, which isn't ideal really for someone like him. You want him getting closer to the goal rather than sort of hugging the touchline. Might be good news for like O'Reilly, for example, but are you worried about Semenyo at all with those comments?
Not really, no, because
okay, good.
It's funny how we see he wants me 1v1 and then people hear that and go, oh, okay, that's bad. He's playing wide. You want a good player who's good at dribbling and attacking to get some, you want them to have the space, don't you? You don't want that to be a bad thing where they've doubled up on and tripled up on. He's been only friendlies versus terrible opponents. He's been man of the match in both the games so far for Man City. Looks incredibly fit. Not particularly useful for a tier list for season long, but he's shown us that he is a minutes monster.
Yeah.
Again, minutes per start. Semenyo right up there. He's just Premier League built. He can do everything defensive, both flanks. He could play into an inside position if he needs to. So I think he's actually quite underlooked. I know people don't like, 8.5, no set pieces, no penalties. But in years past, we've had the likes of like Mahrez at like 10.5, who's like a
Yeah,
rotation piece for City, and well, yeah, he'd play like 15 games and then just not do anything, and people still were tempted to put him in the
That's
team.
true.
Yeah,
I
so
think
there's
Mahrez
perspective
averaged out around 8.5, didn't he? I think in the kind of few
towards the
seasons.
end. But yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of. The point is, we've had a lot of Man City attackers in the past. Even Sterling was like 12 million at one point.
Yeah, yeah.
So to get a nailed on, I think Man City front three player.
I was expecting him to be more. I was expecting him to be 9.5.
Yeah,
easy. I was quite
But
surprised.
was last
8.5.
season the outlier? That's the question. Was that the
I don't think so. I think he's just going to go from strength to strength. I think, like you say, he's got all the attributes to be, a Premier League like top player.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
consistently.
tempted to put him in A, but I'm very biased at the moment, so maybe he's a B.
I'm going to put him in A. I'm going to put him in A.
To have those two switch, Palmer and him, will probably be controversial. But
Yeah, I think it's the price. I think if he was 9.95, I think maybe, but I think the price means he's an A. Hey, holding up, warm?
I'm warm, but
You can put your fan on. I'll put the repair on.
nah, it's okay. I'm all right.
Okay.
I'm a big boy. I'll get through it.
Nico. I was told off my pronunciation of Williams. It's Nico, isn't it? Not Neko. Nico, or is it Neko and it's not Nico? I can't even remember which one it is.
Remember, you don't want to come to me for that. I don't even bother.
No, where's Andy when you need him? I'll go with Nico. Nico. I normally get sent by the Premier League a pronunciation guide for all the players.
Ooh,
Haven't had that.
la-di-da.
I know, haven't had that yet. I think it's Nico. Nico Williams.
Yeah, 5 million is exciting, isn't it? Everyone seems to
Very
think
popular. Very popular.
just go into he'll just be the new Munoz, and that's who he is. Not sure the transition will be exactly like that. Taking some left-sided set pieces last season, so straight away, for a fullback to be interesting to me, they have to offer something, offensively, like that's in top tier, or have some set pieces, i.e. like the Porro situation, and he does have that, and then he comes in at 5. There's also a chance, I guess, that Forest just do really well on clean sheets. They're the kind of team you could see that happening, right? They have got good defenders. Glasner's a good manager. He churned them out for Palace. So there's a world where they can hit, again, like between 12 and... I know they've got Europe, right? But between 10 and 13 clean sheets, like, you wouldn't be totally shocked if that happened. So I think he's a pretty good pick.
People are going wild,
For a
aren't they?
fullback.
Because they saw the video of Glasner shouting at him to get forward.
I haven't seen that.
In
Is
that
that
friendly.
Is that what happened? Okay.
Yeah. There's a video of him going, get forward, go forward. So we think maybe that's a sign that... But I mean, Aina likes to get forward on the other side, and we saw from Palace that he doesn't really like both wing backs to bomb forward.
Yeah, Aina's not really got that in his locker, I don't think, offensively.
He's got the energy, he's got the engine, but he hasn't
Yeah.
maybe got the final product.
They signed a fullback, haven't they? Or they are signing a fullback, one of the two.
Yeah.
I think B, C, B, B.
I think B. I think for 5 million, if he was 5.5, he'd be obviously no. But I think for 5, I just think Forest are going to be good this season. They've got a good manager in. They're making some decent signings. They can keep hold of Gibbs White. Should be all right. Another 4 million defender for you, Luke. We have Thomas, potentially the best DEFCON defender we're going to get if his championship form holds.
Yeah. Where did we put Diop?
E.
Should we just do that?
Yeah, I mean, I still prefer him over the season to Diop, which would maybe make me think he's well, people are not happy with Nico in B. Oh well.
Too high?
Yeah. You're joking with that, surely. People are fuming about Nico Williams in B. I don't really see what's wrong with him. He's playing attacking, gets DEFCON every now and then, playing for a team without Europe. I think he'll be up there.
Takes corners.
I'm gonna pull rank on this one. I think he's a better option than Diop.
Okay.
So
Yeah. I've said that 4 million defenders hold value.
I'm gonna put him in C.
It's not who's the best defender, is it? It's not who you're going to play every week. It's what use they are as an FPL pick.
I think he's going to be the best scoring 4 million defender in the game over the
You've
season.
gone to C, have you?
Well, Diop's in D.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes they order these in the tiers as well, right? From left to right. We're not doing that. But
no, we're not doing that. No, no, that's too much. Can you imagine trying to do that? I'm putting him in C. I think he's, like I said, I think he's going to be the best. Or we could put Diop in E and Thomas in D.
Do that.
Okay.
We said we were going to move someone. We haven't moved any yet, have we?
No, I'm pretty happy with what we've done so far. Okay, I'm putting Diop in E and I'm moving Thomas down. Yeah, that's right. That was.
Do you want to bow to the chat and move Williams down and move the Leeds defender down?
Thomas will outscore Williams. God, people are fuming about. Do we want to? Do we know
Thomas
the
will
chat?
outscore Williams? Maybe Defcon, I suppose.
No,
Maybe.
we're not moving Nico.
Okay.
Can't even pronounce his name. Okay, we now have an Arsenal player. We have Bukayo Saka. Interesting one.
Oh God, I wish he was back to who we loved many years ago. Yeah. It's a long time now since he's been a really good pick. But even for England in periods, or he just shows how good he can be. Yeah, I love the guy. And it could be a crazy price, but he gives up penalties these days. He doesn't start all the games.
Madueke's there. Yeah.
There's no world in starting with him, certainly. I know that's not what this is about, but will he be an option at some point? I like to think he will be. But it's been so long now of us just worrying, and every time we think he's okay, then just starts getting subbed early even.
Do you think all the years of like playing every minute of every match is sort of finally catching up to him? Because he can't seem to stay fit, can he?
I mean, that's what a lot of people say, right? Who knows? We don't get the full information, do we? I mean, that's. I almost want to say that's a lazy answer because there's plenty of people. There's people like Messi who've done it like their entire career, and Ronaldo and stuff, right? So it's possible for people to do this, but not the rule, them, or the exception. I don't know, mate. What do you think?
I think this is the toughest one. The toughest one to have.
The thing is, you're always going to want to pick Arsenal defenders. You know, anytime you're offered the choice, you're going to go to them over Saka, and it's been that way for a while now.
I mean, I look at some of the players we've got in B tier, and I think it would be quite harsh to put him lower than Munoz, like Neco Williams, Porro. Like, I think
all those players are a better pick than Saka, from what we know right now. Yes, Saka can outscore them by 100 points and be fantastic, but there's no way you're picking Saka above any of them ones you just listed right now off the bat, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, he's between B and C, isn't he? Go on, I'll let you choose.
Oh, God, I want to put the guy higher, but C? No.
C.
Should we put B?
I think probably B. I think B's where I'd go. I mean, like Greg says, it's Saka, isn't it? It's...
If you looked at any... Again, I keep coming back to the beginning of the season because that's all we've got right now. But if you looked at someone's lineup and they had Saka in it, you should surely say to them, unless you wanted them to lose, you don't want Saka in from the start.
We can't put him lower than Neco Williams.
Okay, all right. So many of these guys could blow up in our face.
So Shannon said,
Look,
we're Abramovich over Saka.
They're not understanding this, are they? They're not understanding this.
But it's fun. I think B's right. I'm happy with that. Another Arsenal player. Okay, this one is... So did you see my prediction on Twitter the other day?
I did.
My prediction is Solis is going to score in the Community Shield, and he's going to be suddenly part of many people's drafts. I mean, do you know what? I don't mind him. I think he's coming in with a lot of talent. He's got a real... I think we've got 34 goals in 35 games or something like that last season. And really, that left wing spot is up for grabs, isn't it? Like, Martinelli's not really good enough. Trossard's gone. I don't think he likes him out there on the left. Jolis. Okay, we'll call him Jolis. Jolis? Like John.
Is that how you say it?
That sounds wrong.
A lot of people have been saying...
I'm trusting
Solace.
Inertia Soth.
Okay.
Jolis. I'll trust him, why not?
Quantum of Solace, I've heard a lot of people saying.
Yeah, that's what I was going with. I quite like that as well. I might stick with Solace until I get it confirmed. Yeah, I don't know. I think at 6'5", he's definitely intriguing. I think he could have a big season, but big but, isn't it? Like, we don't know what he's like in the league.
Massive error margin, but you just worry. Arteta subs
Variance,
wingers all the
Luke.
time.
Variance.
You're never going to be confident in his minutes, so I just don't think he's an option yet. Even Trossard is great for Arsenal like last season, and still no one owned him. And how much was he?
Yeah.
Was he not around the same price? Was Trossard not 6'5", 7"?
Yeah, he's normally about 6'5", isn't he? Sounds about right. He's probably D. He's probably a D, isn't he?
And as much as Trossard was probably their one of the best players last season. You just could never feel like you could pick him because you could never be 100%.
I don't think we can go higher than D.
So as a fantasy pick, I just think he's bad. Again, this is similar to why Palestra. I'm not saying they're a bad player. They could be very good.
Yeah.
They could make a mockery, but there's no chance that I would be starting with him or even considering him for a long time yet.
Yeah, I think
see a lot of information.
I think I'd put him in D over E just because I think he has the potential. If he nails down a left wing spot for Arsenal, you're going to be very tempted by him, right? Like the thing with Trossard was he always fought against Marseille and other players, but if Solis comes in and actually plays in that position,
can't nail down a spot. Gyökeres can't nail down a spot. Saka can't nail down a spot.
Yeah,
Madueke can't.
But they've got so. But they're
none of them nail him down.
But they're the areas with competition. Like he should be better than Martinelli. Martinelli has not been good for years. Like consistently good. I think he's got a real chance of being a key player for them. You can't rate him higher than that because at the moment he's not.
Eze can't get a spot. And
but he's not
Premier
a left winger. I'm talking left wing.
But he can play off the left though, Eze.
Yeah, but he doesn't. Obviously, but Solis has been bought to play left wing purely.
Okay, all right. I'll default to it. I just think it's Arteta's style that he just.
Would you have gone E then?
Yeah, because
Vinny is coming. There is absolutely no way Vinicius Junior is going to sign for Arsenal.
Clip that, everyone.
You can clip that all you want. There is absolutely no way they're going to pay him his 500k a week demands. He's doing it. He's all for a bigger contract. Come on, no chance.
Football's a mad game, mate. You never know.
No chance. I will eat my tortoise behind me. Oh, a Brighton boy! Finally, God, it's taken an hour and 50 minutes. Voskovic.
Yeah,
we've got
potentially.
We've got a DEFCON king potentially in A. I think this guy could be up there. I mean, there's some great stats I'm going to show on the next black box about just how good he was in the Bundesliga last year. The issue is that we know Leeds defenders get DEFCON. Brighton don't as much. I think we have a bit more possession and maybe don't invite the crosses quite as much. But really, like he should get them, and he's going to get goals. He's going to, he's an absolute unit. Hertz has spoken a lot about set pieces in pre-season. I think 4 of our goals were from set pieces. All 4 goals we scored in the last pre-season were from set pieces. The issue is, Luke, we have 7 centre backs on the books. 7. I mean, some of them are crap, but still 7. And my worry is that he doesn't start with 2 brand new centre backs in the first game. I mean, maybe he goes to a back 3, but there's a chance he goes with 2. And if he goes with 2, it's him versus Strauch to part and Dunk. And I don't
think Dunk's that nailed, right? So Dunk's
I don't think he's nailed. I think eventually it will be Strauch and Voskovic as the centre backs, but it would be quite a big thing, wouldn't it, to start with 2 brand new centre backs in the first game of the Premier League, especially when we're in a real flux season, given that we've lost now Welbeck, who's one of our key players.
Yeah, I personally don't expect him to start, but he is a tricky one. Again, if we had that wild card, there'd be quite a few players here that we put in that because they're just, so much relies on the minutes. If he's starting every game for Brighton, he goes right up to the top potentially, or very close to the top. If he's not, then he's just
I completely agree. It's 50-50 on him. If he starts the season, I think he will eventually be first choice. So for that reason, I would put him like fairly high.
Okay, so you're saying he's going to become a good pick at some point, and then he's going to be great because a load of people will jump on him. 5 million DEFCONs,
So I think for that reason, I'd probably put him in B. Honestly, when people see the stats on him, I mean, how many goals he got, how often he hit DEFCON, they see the size of him and like what he brings. I think you're all going to be very, very impressed with him.
Okay, I'm going to go C, but you can put him B if you want.
I'll put him in B. I like him. I think he's going to be a very popular pick between now and the end of the season. Barkovic. Shut up.
It'd be lovely if your manager...
Really, people are really not happy. Should we put Neco Williams down? People are not happy.
I mean, he's great in all of the models as well. It's not just
I'm not going to pander to you guys.
Showing really well.
I'm not going to pander to you, sorry.
This is our tier list. We fight.
Yeah. Bobby. Brian Brobby. Another Andy favourite. 6 million strike without pens and a terrible minutes per start. You're going to love him, aren't you, Luke?
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of that was also bedding in, though.
He's a very good player. I'd like to caveat the slander. I think he is a very, very good player.
He puts himself about, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah, just doesn't have penalties. That's my only worry.
I have no interest, absolutely no interest in him. Past the
Yeah.
first 2 weeks. Like, the first 2 weeks are good, obviously, but
How many goals does he have to score to become an option as a forward?
15.
You think 15 is
I
the
think
yardstick, yeah?
15. Yeah.
Without pen. So 15 open play goals, and then you'd put him in at 6. Otherwise, you're not interested.
Yeah. I mean, that would be
Okay.
an amazing season for him, wouldn't it? If he got 15 goals with Europe as well. I mean, think about Europe. Think how many games he's going to miss with Isidore playing and stuff.
And there's not many strikers a season that get to 15 goals. You know, there will be definitely a few, but it's not usually huge numbers every year.
I can't see it being him.
Yeah, I think he's good to start the season because of the games. You know, if he's fit, because he did go to the World Cup. I know they didn't go too far, but I think he's back already, right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I don't know. C, D, something like that.
I think D.
Okay.
I think D. I'm putting him in D. Lots of Robbie puns in the chat. Oh, Dr. David, unbelievable Brighton buyers. As always, overhyping Brighton players pre-season like that Argentinian rat. Poor Barco. You wait, Voskovic. I'm not hyping him up as much as Barco. I put him in B tier, but if he looks to be a DEFCON monster. That's all I'm saying.
Isn't a tier list like exclusively our bias because we're just basing this
Yes,
on
on
complete
nothing.
vibes?
Thank you, Luke.
I think these are designed to enrage people, so we've done well.
Matson, another model darling.
Kick him out. Fullback doesn't do anything. It's rumoured to sign a fullback. He might even be F for me.
I'm so glad you said that. I thought you were going to try and make a case for him. He's F, right? He's got to be. Like, why is he featuring so high?
Sorry. He had a lot of potential as a player at Dortmund. He looked really good, didn't he? More as almost an attacking, almost played winger, I think, for them.
He's also
But he's just never done it really.
He's never shown any signs of being like a consistently high XGI player. He's got
probably
no
higher
roots.
than that if they don't sign a fullback, like just because he's going to play every game. But
Yeah.
no, I'm with you for what you were saying.
I wouldn't. I just
Doesn't
would.
do anything.
There's so many players I'd pick over him. Like, just so many.
If you're going to go for a fullback who does nothing, then just get Luke Shaw. And
Yeah.
I mean, even he got like 100 points for the whole season.
Yeah.
38 games.
Yeah. I think he's F, and I think there is another F player coming as
Okay.
well. He wasn't even the one that I meant. Yeah, I think that's right. He's got to be. He's a solid player, but for FPLF, yeah, I agree with you, Alan. We'll have to find a Newcastle player. So we've now got Harvey Barnes.
God, the last man standing.
No, they've exactly got anyone left, have they? I've always liked Barnes as a player,
Yeah.
and he's now not really got any competition.
I know a man who thinks he'd score more goals than Salah if he played for Liverpool.
Yeah. Yep. That is Andy
man's
Martin in a
consumed
nutshell. Yeah.
Copious amounts of... yeah.
I didn't realise it was about Barnes he said it about. I remember him saying it.
It's Harvey Barnes.
Yeah. I mean, again, he hasn't got any set pieces. He hasn't got pens. He has got an eye for goal though.
Never stays fit for the whole season.
Yeah.
I know he's got pathways. Well, he's got a lot of pathways to the first 11 because it'll be him and 10 of his mates from down the park. But how much is he? I don't even know how much he is.
He's 6.
Yeah, I mean, he can score over 10 goals in a season. He's capable of it, and he might have to. But I just worry about fitness and everything else. So
And Newcastle in general, like it's all very well saying he's going to get 10 goals, but who's going to feed him? They've lost their two main midfielders.
But the team doesn't always matter for a player, does it? If they come rock bottom and he scores 10 goals, then
Yeah,
who
true.
cares?
I wouldn't put him any higher than C.
I think that's too high. I think maybe even E.
E?
No one is picking him from the start, are they? Am I completely just blind spot?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a wait and see. It's over the seas, isn't it? Like, I guess that as well. The new manager.
If they make
coming
no
in.
signings and he stays fit, then he's definitely better than E.
To
actually,
lose
but-
3 key players and their manager. Honestly, Alan, the hatred for Nico Williams.
Does no one like him in this chat?
All right, I'll put him in E. Do you know
Maybe
what?
put him D. He's scored like goals whenever he's been.
I think I'd rather have Brian Bobby though than I'd rather have Solis as well at 6'5". No, I think you're probably right. I think it's just like a sort of. I'm thinking about Newcastle. I'm thinking about who their star player is going to be this year, and that's probably could be him. There's not really anyone else I'd look at, but probably still doesn't make him a very good option. Nah, I think you're probably right. Go on, you've talked me down from C to E. Pascal, my boy, Pascal Gross. Very popular now. He's seemingly on pens. I think I'm on this stream with probably the only person who loves him more than I do.
I've always loved him. It's because he's so good in Sky. So good for many years, so served me well. And I just think he's been underlooked as a player for so long. He just tops so many stats for so many years, and I just don't know how he's gone like completely unnoticed pretty much.
I was so happy when we signed him back, and with Welbeck going, that decision is just looking better and better and better.
He's in that rare breed of player that is like better in the Premier League, goes to Germany where I think he'd be even better, and didn't quite do as well, and then came back to the Premier League and showed he's still got it like years later as well. It's like mad. Usually people struggle in the Premier League and they manage to turn it on elsewhere. But I mean, not that I followed his time in Germany exclusively, but I didn't hear too much about him, and the fact they were willing to let him go probably says a lot. I think he's like A tier, man. 5.5 for a lot of the things that we appeal for as a fantasy pick, and it comes at such a dumb low price.
I think the thing is, he is as good an option as the 6 million midfielders, like we talked about, Lefay, Stack, but he's 5 million. He's 0.5 less. He's actually even cheaper.
I think the only thing that changes it is if his minutes start to dip, and then suddenly, we just don't want players who don't have minutes. Doesn't matter how much you cost if you don't play.
The thing is, at the moment, well, I mean, we're being linked with Bergvall. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I think they want too much money for him. And like Gomez is now basically first choice right winger. I don't really know, unless we sign another creative, unless O'Reilly can suddenly break into the team and play in that position, which he can't really because he's more of a 10. I think Gross plays. I think 5.5 is a steal for him. I think we're going to get another year out of him easily. I think he probably gets rested in Europe and plays.
He's going to frustrate people who don't like this kind of player, right? In the sense that he's quite deep and he does all. And there's going to be games where he just gets 2 points, Brighton lose, he does nothing. But all players do that, and it's important. He's just got so many avenues, isn't he, now, really? Like, I think he's A because of the value.
Yeah,
I'm bearing value in mind in all these picks. I don't think he's a better player than Palmer, but for 5.5, I think he's going to be in a lot of teams.
Yeah, I agree.
For a good reason.
No, I'm with you. I agree. With the Pens changed it. With Welbeck in the team and taking Pens, I'd be a bit more hesitant, but now he's seemingly on them. I think he's in. Ollie Watkins is next. Another. Yeah. Is he 8? Is he 8 as well? Same as Thiago?
He is 8, yeah. And you just pick Thiago over him, don't you? Which goes against him.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't got pens, has he?
No. Watkins does this for a number of years now, where he just doesn't really look like he's going to be value, and then somehow manages to, by the end of the season, get a decent total. Who's the competition at centre forward for him this season?
Abraham.
Tammy.
Tammy's still there.
Boy, he barely was any competition, was he?
I said it earlier. I worry about Villa this season. And I think he's got competition in Abraham now, hasn't got the pens. 8 million's too much for a striker when there's good options at 6.
Yeah, he probably gets a decent total again across the season, but there's no world that I'm picking him above Thiago. No world I'm picking him above João Pedro. Calvert-Lewin, again, I mentioned there's only a few strikers I'd consider, and therefore those few are very valuable. The rest just may as well not exist to me outside of like a free hit. So
I think
despite him getting good points, I think he's a bad pick.
Yeah. I think D.
Yeah.
I think
I like him as a player.
So do I. Yeah. I worry about Villa. I worry about Europe. I worry about the lack of routes to points. I worry about the fact he's a striker. And like you say, there's better options. I mean, last year we had loads of strikers were around like 8-9 million, weren't they? But this year he's basically a premium, isn't he? He's one of the most expensive strikers in the game.
If you're going to pay that much, you maybe even just go Isak, and you would try that rather than him, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
About 12 left, Luke.
That's not too bad.
Didn't I?
How long have we been going?
2 hours.
Okay. Sorry, everyone.
Morgan Gibbs-White is next.
Yeah, Mark's best friend, who he got him in when no one else did, and fired him even further up the leagues last season.
And I had him right at the start when he got absolutely no points. He is a frustrating player.
He's a great player.
He sure is, but he's the fantasy. I mean, is he a fantasy pick? And it's like you said, Mark doesn't think he's going to have pens.
Yeah. It's similar to a few that, like the Semenyos and the Thiagos, that high rolled, got a price hike, and then people struggle to think that they will be able to match that again. He's in that bracket, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I think he can. It just, when you have to rely on pretty much open play goals, it's just such a lottery as to whether the ball actually finds its way into the back of the net. And there is the new manager situation. Where do we expect him to play? Like, are we thinking they copy the setup from Palace?
Well,
identically.
That's what I think so. And we never really saw a midfielder in the Glasner team do that well, did we? I mean, Eze was more off the left, wasn't he?
So you think he almost takes, when they had Eze, Elise and Mateta, he kind of is the one that drops in between the two rather than the one who pushes right up as the forward? Or do you think he becomes more the joint forward, like the Sarr situation?
Yeah. I mean, he does that well. They surely want to get him. They want to get him close, you know, to the thing is that there are risks with him. Like, we don't know what he's going to be like without Anderson. I mean, Anderson did so much work in midfield. No pens. All of his points in the second half of the season, like, he can go very, very large periods without really getting anything.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Seal D just because of the price hike, but that's harsh.
I think D's too harsh. I think probably C. I think he's
okay. I'm happy with that.
Maybe B.
I'm happy with that. I think he's an okay. I don't think he's as bad a pick as I see a lot of people saying because of the price. I think he's, you know, any free hit when Forest's got a good fixture again, definitely straight in.
Mark's not happy.
Is Mark watching?
He's not on pens, Mark. Like, you've priced him too high. You should have made him 7.5. 8 million. 8 million was your Forest bias. I think it's too high for him.
He still shows in Solio Souls when I've put it on every now and then, depending on certain.
I mean,
setups,
are you even
from the beginning.
Are you even remotely tempted to start with him at 8?
No.
No,
is the honest truth.
Well, that's kind of it then, right? Like, I think for 8 million, he's.
But it's not just about the start.
I know,
for the season.
I know it's not. But like, you're not even considering him. Like, if you had like a B player with good fixtures, you would be considering them at least.
He's going to get like 100, 160, 170 again, isn't he? And
yeah, but is that worth it for 8?
Well, probably.
Just about. just about.
I think it is.
7.5 and he's a B. That's exactly it. I think 8's too high. 2 people have said that. Yeah, thank you. Agree with me. Sorry, Mark. Too high. That's what you're pricing up, Mark. Come on.
It's all these people who've high rolled and gone up in price. It's all of them. Everyone says, now they're too high, now they're too high. Some people go on and repeat it. Happens a lot.
James Garner, one of the DEFCON heroes of last season. I don't really understand why he wasn't reclassified as a defender, given that he played almost every game. Did he play
more games at fullback?
I think he played almost every game at fullback, didn't he? Unless I'm completely wrong on that. There must be some logic for it, but
no, they had a lot of injuries and he had to fill in at right back a lot. But I don't know without checking, but he did play a lot of games in centre midfield.
I guess
you can go on like Transfer Market or whatever, and someone can have a look while we're chatting and see how many games he played in the Premier League in each position. But presumably FPL would have changed him if he was more there because they generally just do that, don't they?
You are completely wrong on that, says Mark. Well, I was also surprised that Lewis Potter was reclassified as a midfielder because I thought he basically played almost entirely at left back. So,
no, I think Garner's definitely a centre midfielder. I think if he was a defender, will that make him worse or better? It's hard to know, isn't it? Because you lose recoveries, and that's a big part of his game. But then obviously getting the clean sheet.
He get the record last season. What, he got about 28. He got 28 in it. 28 DEFCON in one match. I think he had the most.
Oh, was it him who got the most in one game? Yes, I think he might be right.
I think so.
Yeah, is he 6 again? I think he's still just a really solid pick, to be honest. It's very, very boring. God. But there is also an outside chance he could take... If Ndai leaves, I think there is some talk that Garner would probably take penalties. It's like him, Dewsbury Hall, Beto are all kind of in the frame. But Garner took one... I think an Everton fan said, someone again might be able to correct me. So if he suddenly added penalties to his repertoire and Ndai left, then he becomes, almost Pascal Gross, but with better DEFCON, doesn't he? Does he take any set pieces as well? He might even have taken. Maybe I'm totally making it up, but I felt like he'd take a few set pieces. So
there we go.
yeah.
Sean Bastow, 3 games at left back and 4 games at right back. My apologies. They're just in my head that I remember him playing out of position. I thought he played way more. I thought it was like half or maybe even more. But clearly not.
He's very boring, but I think you can't argue with the amount of points he got last year.
I have absolutely no interest in him at all.
Well, he's injured. He's not even going to start game 1, so that's why.
I know. I will never own him. I'd rather just have Dewsbury Hall, 0.5 more.
Okay, so I'd say probably C, but maybe D then.
Yeah, let's go D. There's got to be a limit to, like, we do play this game for fun at the end of the day a little bit. I know points are fun and all that, but putting James Garner in your team. Oh, it's our F tier player, I think.
Oh God, yeah.
Evan Nilsson. Can you think of any reason why we shouldn't put him in F tier?
He's Brazilian. That counts for something. He's got a history.
Jesus Christ, Dr. David, have I upset you? You're not normally this nasty to me. He's you
keep sharing his comments though. So.
I know, he's making me sad.
Oh, don't make my mate sad, Dr. David. Think of your patients.
No, even Nilsson F. I'm with Az for a change. All right. God.
Bedside manner. Christ.
I'm putting him F unless you've got a strong reason not to.
Yeah, I mean, he's a useful player, but is he a useful player for FPL?
I think Unal's having a pretty good pre-season as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he might take some fit at all, can he? Didn't Evan Nilsson score like 6 goals last season? I think it was 6.
And that's probably about as good as he'll get. He's just not a goal scorer, is he?
No, he's really not. And even the goals, when you watch him, it's like, oh, that was a deflected one. That was actually jammy. He wasn't even shooting on target. It came off someone's ass.
I think he could have been 5-5, I think. That would have been at least half.
It's crazy though, isn't it? Because I know they've changed the manager now, but to think of that team and how attacking they are and being up there all the time, how he doesn't manage to score more.
Pretty much every other player in that starting 11 I'd have over Evan Nilsson.
Yeah. Well, he falls over well for penalties. I'll give him that. I'm not going to argue. You put maybe E, but no, F's fine.
Cool. Barnes lower than Garner feels odd. 10-1 Evan Nilsson, how many? 0. Yep, that sums it up. Interesting one. Elliot Anderson. Obviously now moved to Man City. Very divided. I think he's one of the most divisive players at the moment. Some people saying he's going to do exactly the same as he did last year. 4 points every week. Others saying Man City might be completely different. Not going to be on set pieces. A much worse option.
I think my instinct is just to say B, because he could be better than that and he could be worse than that. Oh, wow. What an insight you have, Lee.
Sound like someone else we know on Twitter, mentioning no names.
Yeah, I just think B. I think he's probably fine, but there's a world where he's still just really, really good value at that price, and then if he just doesn't do the DEFCON, he's suddenly just not a very good pick.
Yeah.
But I can't see a world where he doesn't do DEFCON.
I think the good thing with him is that we've seen that he can get forward, right? So if Rodri comes back, or if he even stays, or if they do want to play him in a slightly more advanced role, he can do it. He did really well towards the end of the season for Forest. So if I still think he's going to hoover him up. He's just everywhere, isn't
Probably.
he? Yeah, I think B's about right. Seriously, as if he's just playing for fun, your rank won't improve. Going rogue and it costs you points, asked Luke. I mean, that is true. But I still maintain that picking Garner is not going to be the be-all end of my season. So, I'm happy to pick Anderson, for example. I'd happily have him, but I can't pick James Garner. I just can't. A fun one. Currently in my team, Phil Foden at 7 million. I think when you talked about the wildcard tier that you wanted for this stream, it was basically exclusively for Foden, right? Because he could be S, he could be F.
Yeah, and that's been, unfortunately, are we in now like the 4th year of Foden could be back but isn't back or something like that?
Well, he had the play of the season 3 years ago.
Yeah, how long ago was that? 3 years ago?
Yeah, I think it was 3 years ago. Yeah.
Okay, so this is now the start of the 4th. I don't know.
No, this is the start of the 3rd.
Okay, are we sure about that?
No.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
Yeah.
But
I think so.
I'm not sure.
Because City have had 2 bad by their standard seasons, haven't they? And then the season before that, they were brilliant.
I'm just always wary of situations like this where similar, I guess, to the Palm one in a little way, where it's just like a player hasn't really performed to a level we've seen for a consistently long time. And we're always like, well, it's in there. It could come back. And then quite often it just doesn't. It's so hard to see that, though. When you watch Foden, I mean, even in like training videos and stuff, he's like technically unreal. He has had that ridiculous season of scoring goals. He's an overperformer in terms of his finishing ability for his career. He's above his XG numbers. But minutes, do we know how much he's going to pay for this? I mean, having a season bet, you're never really picking him on, like, say this was draft, you're not putting Foden in, are you? I don't think you are. So,
yeah, I mean, Sorrow says that's for 6 weeks at some point, D overall.
Yeah, hence why I wanted the wildcard pick.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem you've got here is most people think that he is going to compete with Cherki. I'm only saying most people because we don't know. It is a new manager, but that's what we expect. And Cherki is pretty damn good at football. So when there's players that are like that, and you could even argue that Cherki is better, and has been for the last few years, or in his career anyway, you're taking a big risk. I do think he starts the season, but this is a tier list for the whole season, and he literally needs that wild card because he is so random.
Yeah, he's a player you'd pick in draft, and he either makes or breaks your pick because you're playing him every week, and he's getting 1 point, or he's just scoring really well.
I just said you wouldn't pick him in draft. You pick the guy who turn up every week.
No, I'm saying you wouldn't, but if you did, he's the kind of player that can win you a week, right, in draft, just because he turns up and bangs a hat trick.
Yeah.
But
we think fondly of him because of those games where he does that. But
it's bursts. You have to time. You've always had to time Foden. Even when he had his standout season, you still had to get the purple patches right.
So much potential, and it's just like,
I think it's the price. I mean, 7 million. You're not going to. That is the cheapest he could have been priced at. You couldn't price Foden any less than 7.
There's a reason he keeps coming down.
Yeah.
Remember Raheem Sterling again, 12, then it was like 11.5, then 11, then like it just kept.
He was
going
never
down.
7. He was never 7 though.
No, well, I think he was towards the end when he said, maybe not for City.
Maybe 7.5 at Chelsea.
Yeah. I don't know. I think
I want to put him in B because of the price. You think that's too high?
I'd go C.
Okay, we'll let the chat
We've already
decide.
discussed he's going to be S or F.
Yeah.
So let's put him in C. It's bang in the middle.
Okay. I was going to say let the chat decide, but that is a bit of a cop out. That's fine. Okay, next is Dewsbury Hall.
Lovely little player.
He was so good for me last year, like just so good. I had him for about 6 weeks, and I think he got me like 2 double-digit hauls in that time. He's brilliant.
Yeah, he's a really good player. He's actually quite tricky, isn't he? Because again, like Django Antara, Sarr, Anderson.
It's a shame he's 6'5". I wish he was 6.
He's competing with a lot of different, good players. And in his own team, even if Ndai stays, he's on penalties for 6. You've got Garner, who's just going to probably hit 150 points, if not more, for 6.
It was 5 million last year. He was such a bargain. Yeah,
but he is a lovely player, and he could do better. But I don't know. I don't really have any interest in him personally.
He's probably C, isn't he? I think he'd be B if he was 6'5". He's probably C.
Yeah, I'd maybe say D, but I'm happy with C because he is a good guy.
He's a nice guy. Kind of guy you'd like to take home to your mum.
Yeah, why not?
Lacroix, as you like to call him.
Yeah.
Or Lacroix, as is his actual name. Obviously now at Chelsea. I had him for pretty much the whole season, and I had to watch him get outscored by all of his Crystal Palace counterparts at various points. But he came, in the end, he was the top scoring one, if you take Gahey out of the equation. I was frustrated with him, though. I always feel like he should get the odd goal. Like, he's such a menace in the penalty area, but just never really seems to score.
No.
6 million's a lot. I think it's too much.
Is Colwell 5?
Yeah.
I just can't see a world I don't doubt that. I'm going to call him Lacroix now, just to add another one in there. Lacroix does outscores Colwell, but million worth. Colwell actually, I think he only played 3 games last season, and I had a look, and he got 10 DEFCONs in all of the games. So I'm not saying he's a DEFCON merchant because that's a tiny sample, completely new manager and everything, but I think if it is a back three system, then Colwell could get the defcons similar to the likes of Canvo and Richards did alongside Lacroix as well. So anyway, you're not really picking any Chelsea players for defcons. It's more like a luck thing, and you expect them to go down for Chelsea, wouldn't you? So I just think it's a lot of money for a player that's.
I think he's going to get less defcons. He hasn't quite hit the heights of any attacking threat. He's a lot of money. There's a better option at 6. And I don't think Chelsea's going to keep that many clean sheets. I think they're going to score some goals, but
he's a decent player. But even for France, you noticed when he even played, like the ball playing, like suffered straight away. Like, not that counts for FPL, but
there's just so many players I'd have over him again for 6 million. Like Gahey at City, if he's nailed on, I'd rather have. Like, look at the 5/5s. There's loads of 5/5 options I'd have over Lacroix.
Are we saying E?
I think
we're going that low. For
I
value,
just don't know who's picking him at any point in this season. I don't know who's picking him because you could have Colwell, like you say, unless Colwell gets injured,
or maybe even Hato if he starts. But yeah,
I think he's D or E. I think E seems a bit harsh, but no, I feel the same way as I do Solanke. I just don't see it. I really like him as a player. Like I said, he did well for me at stages last year, but Palace and Chelsea are very different. He's too much money. He's too much money at 6. Gyökeres, how do you reckon he's going to do this season?
He might do fine and might get 10 to 15 goals, but he's never ever a pick, is he?
Because you never know if he's going to take penalties. You never know if he's going to start.
Well, he probably does take the penalties, but you just don't know he's going to start. Havertz is great. He might start the season because Havertz, did he go further than Gyökeres in the World Cup? I don't actually know that for sure.
About the same, I think, wasn't it? They were both went out pretty early.
But I just think Havertz is the preferred choice in most games. So I'm a striker. How much is he?
7.5. He's a good price.
There's no chance I'm paying 7.5 for a player I do not know starts. So to me, he is like literally E or F straight away, like ludicrous pick. But he could easily just score like 15 goals.
Yeah, I just don't know when you're going to select him. He's another one of those players, isn't he? Like
Havertz gets injured for 8 months, then yeah.
That's it. That is the only answer to that question. The only thing is, I mean, he might be an option at the start of the season if we think he's going to start that first game against Coventry because he does really well historically against poor opposition.
But for the tier list season long,
but over the season, I think we put him in E.
He's potentially the second choice forward.
He's not first choice. Yeah, he's not first choice.
Or
there's some room he's going to be sold, isn't there?
Split.
Yeah, I think he's an E. I think you're crazy if you're picking him. I've been dreading this one. Calvert-Lewin. I just dread the thought that we're going to put Calvert-Lewin high when I got ridiculed last season for having Calvert-Lewin in my team. Do you remember? I got absolutely slated for picking him in my wildcard.
Can I just say as that, again, in like the analytical world, when you picked Calvert-Lewin, he was actually a good option, and a lot of people liked him in that.
Well, where were they? Where were they defending me?
Stunningly, they weren't. Yeah, right behind you, cheering you on. If anything, they were cheering the downfall.
After all the support I've given the analytics community over the years,
they turned their back on you.
I mean, he's by far the best 6 million option, isn't he?
Well, yeah.
Like I don't think there's any. He is capable of going 7 games without a goal.
He is an S tier because of that whole thing again, where we have to have 3 strikers. Nearly everyone wants Haaland, and then he is just a clear second best choice for the price.
I'm not putting him in S tier.
Again, it's not total points; it's the value as a pick.
I can't. Please don't make me put him in S tier. Please. He is the poster boy. You can't hit a barn door either. His finishing is poster awful. Boy for my sub-million finish last year. Like how I held him for 7 weeks and played him in all those weeks, and he didn't score a single goal, and then he scored 7 in a row. I'll never forget it.
Plotted XG over and under performance graphs the other day. I can't remember where I saw it from, and you. DCL was almost like off the bottom in terms of the chances he gets and his finishing ability.
Yeah. And every goal was in the same position, just centre of the goal.
Oh, bless him.
I'm going to put...
I think he's at least A. You can't have him below A.
All right, put him in A. I do agree. He is the best 6 million. He is the million striker. I'm not putting him in S tier. I'm sorry. 4 left. We're nearly done.
There's still people watching? Holy.
Numbers have grown, mate. 484.
Oh, okay.
Morgan Rogers. With his big move for Chelsea.
Divisive, Morgan Rogers.
I think this one is very much dependent on where he plays, right? If he plays on the left wing in like a 4-2-3-1, I do worry about him a bit. If he plays as one of the 10s alongside Palmer, I think he could be absolute dynamite.
Well, I think the answer there is he's going to do a bit of both. They've got so many options, not that many games, and you've got, Esteval and people to keep happy. You've got the wing-back system if he plays the back three. And then if you're using a sort of a left wing-back and a right wing-back, then he won't be that wide. He will be closer. Even if he starts that wide, he'll be closer to the striker, won't he, in a 3 setup. So I don't think you need to worry too much about that.
I do think this is an easy one, though.
Okay, what do you think?
Well, I think he's the same as Palmer, right? I think he's a B. I think he's B tier.
Because 2 million difference.
2 million difference, but he's got the fitness to play every minute of every game. There's a bit of question marks around his role to take him away from an A tier. You can't put him in C. You can't put him in A. I think he goes in B.
It's a kind price, and minutes count for something.
Yeah,
they count for a lot, not just something. They count for a lot. So I'm not going to argue. He does seem to overperform his data. His data never really is that great. So I'm always wary of players who just consistently overperform. You wonder if they can sustain it, but he seems to do that. So, yeah, I thought B's fine.
Yeah, I think Alonso will get a tune out of him. Should do for 160.
You could argue he makes a step up, right? Playing with better players.
Yeah.
Playing with Villa, it's probably quite hard work. It felt like it was him and Watkins against the world, and now he's got a few better players around him. So there is a world he just takes a big step up again.
Isak?
Yeah, I'm just really low on him.
Did you see his sprint the other day when everyone's like, oh yeah, that looks like a man who's broken his leg?
Yeah, but even before that, it's just like, again, I have a whole thing about fitness. I've said it loads of times already in this video where I really struggle. Like, experience has taught me that if you expect a player to come back and just be good because they are a good player or they have been, a lot of the time it just doesn't happen. And it might happen in like starts and fits or whatever for a small period, but then, there's someone like De Bruyne, for example. Fantastic player, and then you was like, oh, he's so good, and yeah, he can be for a couple of games, but has anyone ever been able to leave De Bruyne in their team for longer than like 5 games in like the last 5-6 years when he was in it was, I don't know if Isak's in that category yet. Maybe that's harsh, but
9 million for a player who just hasn't shown any signs of being the player he was 2 years ago.
There was discussions around whether he's better player than Haaland at that point.
Yeah,
I think. So we can't say that there isn't a player in there or he hasn't shown us it. If he gets penalties, then yeah, he's better. And I think, again, if you went to other seasons, like that price isn't that bad for a starting centre forward, 9 million on penalties for Liverpool. That would be like, okay, that's quite interesting. But relative in this season, he seems expensive.
This is the one I'm worried about, Luke, for this ranking, because I think we could put him in A tier and he could have a 2-goal season, or we could put him in E tier and he could hit 25 goals.
When's Ekitike back?
I assume around
mid-season?
Christmas. Yeah, I assume around Christmas.
Because then, if we're doing this for season long, so we just have to consider that, right? So let's say Ekitike does come back and he's okay and he's able to play some games, then that starts to take some minutes away. I can't see Isak lasting the whole season. They're going to need him for the first half then, for sure. But based on one run in a friendly, he's not ready, apparently. I don't know. I would not consider it at all myself, but...
do you remember my first draft had Isak, and I think it's possible, but it's very, very difficult to build a team with Haaland, Fernandes and Isak. So unless we think during the season that one of those two is going to, suddenly not be an option for us, or an injury or something like that, I don't really see how Isak fits into your team. And he would have to be regularly hitting goals, wouldn't he? Like, he'd have to be getting 20, 25 goals in this season for him to be worth it. I can't see it.
I don't know about 25, but yeah, he'd have to get a lot.
For 9 million, and he's potentially ruining the rest of your team because you've got Haaland and Fernandes.
He is a good link man. Like, he has got assist potential. I always think of that dribble on the left wing, which is one of the greatest clips of like Premier League football almost, where he just takes. Was it against Leicester?
He's amazing.
Took on about 9 players and went past
amazing.
them. Then didn't get an assist when he was in my team because it nicked off of someone's leg. Mark, if you're still watching, Jesus Christ,
sort it out, Mark, for God's sake.
Yeah.
He's top. He's
Well,
a top.
he did.
He is like on his day. He is one of the best strikers in the world, but he hasn't had his day for ages, and he's had a horrific injury. And he hasn't looked the same since he's got back from it.
Separate to the tier list, what do Liverpool do if he gets injured now? Who do they play as centre forward?
Gakpo.
But they're selling him apparently.
Well, then they're screwed. Chiesa, I guess, can play up top.
False 9.
Yeah, they've got options. They are in trouble.
Anyway, okay, what are we doing with him? You pick. I'm too much of a wimp.
At the risk of it being like the worst decision of the entire tier list, I want to put him a D.
No argument.
Because I think he needs to hit ridiculous heights for us to be considering him this season. And he could do it because he's, on his day, a phenomenal player. But I think there's more chance he doesn't do it.
We needed that wild card category. Either not want to go in there.
But it's, now we've had to make a decision. Now we could look really clever. Scott, a bit of a boring one. We've got a fairly interesting one to end on.
I really like Scott.
Yeah, you like him, don't you?
Yeah, his numbers are just really good since he moved into like a more advanced role last season, and his DEFCON numbers were really good. And I think he's a great player, and I think he should have gone with England as well. But that's another matter. Because of the new manager factor, I guess maybe we have to be a little bit cautious. Is he just the same as Garner, like 6 million C, or do you think he's lower than that?
I mean, what did he get? What did he actually get last season in terms of points? Was it about 140 points?
120 to 140 maybe. But again, he kind of stepped it up. He didn't even start the season as first choice nailed.
I mean, 34,
ramping up.
34 starts, 136 points.
Yeah. Well, I think
So
he's
he's
around 150 again,
150.
potentially. And if he's on the up as a player, maybe he can get more.
I mean, 150 points for 6 million is probably about...
Yeah.
Well, you class that as good value. I think he's fine. I think he's a C. I think he's like decent, but probably similar levels to like Garner.
So we're saying he's better than... Who are the other Bournemouth mids that you've got there? I can't see because the pictures are too small.
We've got
Is that
Rayan.
Clive?
We've got Rayan on the left.
And Clive.
No, we haven't got Clive.
Oh, is that Tavernier down there?
Tavernier, yeah. Tavernier in C with Scott. I think that's probably about right.
Okay. Let's do that.
Rayan. Oh, no, sorry. It's Tavernier. Who is that Bournemouth? Oh, that's Hill. I was thinking about midfielders. Yeah, we've got Hill and Scott in C, and we've got Rayan and Tavernier in D.
Okay. All right.
I think Tavernier kind of fluctuate, but I think, yeah, like we said, without the pens.
I'm happy. I'm good.
Yeah. I won't spin the wheel again. There you go. I'll spin anyway. Pedro is our final one.
Yeah. Is he just A?
7.5 is, I think, a bit of an oversight, potentially, for him. I know he hasn't got the set pieces. I know Welbeck's signed to put a bit of pressure on him, but I think he could pretty easily replicate his season last year. I think he's brilliant.
He's not really ever been a mass goal scorer, though, has he? Did he get 18? Was it all 18 all comps or something? How many did he get in the Premier League?
He got 15 goals and 9 assists. I think he can get 15 goals and 9 assists again. My concerns with him last year was I didn't think he could play the 9 as effectively as he can, and he clearly can. And he didn't go to the World Cup. I think that'll piss him off. I think he's an absolute. I think he's one of the most. If I'm looking at all the players who I think are underpriced, I think he is the most underpriced of probably all of them.
You've seen the South Park episode with Steve Irwin, right? The way you just said piss him off was.
No, I have seen that episode, but I don't remember that bit.
I'm gonna jam my thumb right up his butt. I'll really piss him off. I'm not even trying to do an Australian accent there.
That's a shame. I don't really remember that one. I've seen all the.
Moving on, none of the audience will have watched it. I don't know why I brought it up.
He's an A, isn't he?
He's an A, I think. Yeah.
He's almost an S.
I don't know about that.
But if he had pens, he'd be an S.
Yeah, no doubt.
Otherwise, I think he's an A. Look, we've done it. Another tier list video done. I know it's a bit of a mess in terms of how big some of the graphics are and how small some of the others are, but they are all in there. I I mean, it looks like a tier list should, right? It sort of starts small and then goes big and then goes small again. We put quite a lot in E.
It's very balanced. Again, that probably shows a good sign around the value that Mark's. Well, I'm not Mark. I've not done it entirely himself, but we're going to give him credit. He's put the players up.
Sorry, we're going to do one more because this is about the 5th comment I've seen about him, and I probably should have put him in. Let's put Vardiol in while I've got you as well. Just a quick one on Vardiol, just so.
Did you see the comments yesterday, around his pain? If not, I can try and find them and retweet them. He was basically asked how he feels coming back, and he said, some days I'm feeling pain, some days I'm not feeling pain. So, that's, I suppose, to be expected, but those are worrying comments when you hear players say that.
Yeah, and the amount of centre-backs and options they've got.
So then, again, big injury, sort of missed a lot, then came back and started almost straight away in a couple of games for Man City, then was out again. Then he went to the World Cup, played like a game and a half. I still haven't actually looked up what happened to him in the World Cup, but he went off like half time, I think. And then did he just get injured? And then that's just explainable and why he didn't really play after that. But then the comments that I'll find about him being in pain, I think.
But he's a pillar.
Yeah, I mean, that's just. As any manager ever, like when they're signing a contract, gone, I don't really want this guy, but I mean, they need to replace like Foden and Guardiola. You're looking at £100 million in the market. Do you think that anyone's ever going to not say that they're not great and that they need him at the club?
Are you saying that managers don't always tell us the whole truth?
I think the FPL managers read a lot into obvious comments that have to be made. That's what I think. But he is a great player, and it's just, I was quite high on him, and I think I still am, but the pain comments are just a bit of a worry. We need to be a little bit cautious of the fact that he has had a big injury, and we haven't seen those big minutes since. So start of the season, I'm expecting him to start and play, but once the games come thick and fast, they have got players that can play, and you might have to be careful with him. Like, who knows? So where do you want to put him in the tier list? I think because of who he is, and hopefully he can get over the pain, maybe B or A, but B. He doesn't do DEFCON really.
I was going to go lower than that.
Okay, well, he doesn't really do DEFCON.
I was going to say C. But if you want to put him in B, I'll divert to you.
Let's put him in B. I've got faith.
Okay, he's in. Great. And now people are asking why there's no goalkeepers. There was originally going to be goalkeepers, but come on, we don't need to rank goalkeepers. You can do your research. Just decide whether you want to pay 6 million or 4, 5 and go from there, right?
3, 4, 5s in the game.
There's not. I mean, none of them are going to be an S. None of them are going to be an F. They're all going to be in and around B to D. Like, let's be honest. And some will probably be lower than that.
Do any rearrangement or not? Can't bother.
There's no can't be bothered, Luke. We've done 2 hours and 40 minutes. We might as well make sure we're happy with the tier list.
We can take the 5 million Leeds centre back out of A if you want, because it is probably in
Should we put him in
too
the
much
same,
unknown.
Should we put him in the same one as Vuskovic? Put him in B.
That.
And I guess the big decision is, do we move Neco Williams down?
I really don't understand why people are saying that, but Szoboszlai should be higher 100%, but I've lost that battle.
Nah, B's fine for him. I'm pretty happy.
Ask the chat any obvious ones apart from.
I'm going to try and
Mr.
read
Williams.
it. I'm going to try and read it out for the podcast, and forgive me because the icons are small. But this is the list. S tier is Fernandes and Haaland. A tier is O'Reilly, Gabriel, Semenyo, Gross, Calvert-Lewin, and Pedro. B tier is Munoz, Mbumo, Van Dijk, Szoboszlai, Porro, Lafay, Wirtz, Palmer, Neco Williams, which has caused a bit of a stir, Saka, Vuskovic, Elliot Anderson, Rogers, Vardiol, and say it.
I can't. No, I'm not.
Muherovic.
Yeah.
C tier is Wilson, Cunha. I got Jesus. He is tiny. Hill, I think that is. Tarkovsky, Rice, Thiago, Dango, Sarr, Stack.
Yeah.
Gibbs White, Foden, Dewsbury Hall, and the whitest man I've ever seen. Who's that in the C list?
It's too small on my screen, mate, to be able to see who it
Scott? Scott, I think.
is. Okay, yeah.
D tier is Rayan Mateta, Garcia, a tiny Tavernier, Gahey, Thomas, Maguire, Dango, Solis. Who's that?
Is that Mukiele?
Yeah, Mukiele, Watkins, Garner, and Isak. Palestra. The Aston Villa midfielder they've just signed, who's I've forgotten.
Yeah, Manzabi.
Manzabi, thank you.
Yeah.
Solanke, Wright of Coventry, Thomas, Diop, Barnes, Lacroix, and Gyökeres. And F tier, we have Maatsen and Evan Nilsson.
Well done. That was a slog. You got through it.
It was. It was. I think it was Mukiele in C and Brobby in D, actually.
Okay.
Just to get those two around the right way.
The images are very small before chat abusers.
Yes, they are tiny. Actually, that went better than last year, because last year I couldn't even remember people's faces, and it's very hot. Lovely stuff, Luke. I can't remember your name, let alone the bloody players we just talked about.
What tier would you put me in?
What, over the season or for the screen?
No, let's not do that.
Oh, you're an S tier, Luke. Of course you are. You're everywhere at the moment. Bloody Solio pods. I'm with Andy.
I know. I've got to put the work in before I vanish, haven't I, on holiday? So
yeah, you have to Egypt for. Well, this will be the last. Hopefully, you're going to get a team selection done before you go. At least a short or something. It'd be good for people to see what you're planning, even though the thing is weeks away. But yeah, you're not back, are you, until the season kicks off?
it kicks off while I'm there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it'll be fun for the family whilst they're trying to do things.
Ooh,
and I'm
nice.
sat there on the old app.
Making some last minute moves.
Yeah, they're used to it by now,
though. Lovely stuff. Well, anyone who's sat and watched us for 2 hours and 40 minutes, fair play to you. I want to give a quick shout out to Scout, who are sponsoring this episode and all future episodes. You might have noticed a QR code on the screen. If you give that a zap, it'll take you to the Fantasy Football Scout website. You can sign up to be a Chief Scout for £50 for the year. Get access to all their tools, rate my team. They've got a screenshot rater, so you can just upload a screenshot and it'll give you a rating for that as well. Amazing articles done by Neil and co. And if you're a fan of Yelena, my better half, she's doing members videos now, so you get access to the members videos. I think she recorded the first one with Mark, not Sullens, unfortunately, today. Sorry, Mark, that's not a dig at you, just, the Godfather and all that. But do check out Scout, obviously big partners for us for the season. And just before we finish, I also want to shout out to our Patreon, which I've picked the wrong screen for, but the Patreon is absolutely thriving at the moment. We are getting loads of new people coming in. We've got some amazing tools in there. The chat is popping off. It's Mark, Luke, Andy and I all in the chat. It's this one, sorry. There you go. You can see on the left, that's the app that we've got. Well, not app, a website at the moment. We've got like a transfer helper to tell you if your transfers are any good. We've got mini games in there, goal scorer challenge, predictions league. There's a video on the YouTube channel which you can check out for all the perks and some of our lovely winners on the right too. So head to fplblackbox.com or go to patreon.com/FPL BlackBox. And that's about it. Luke, I'm gonna let you go. I'm glad we started at 7 and not 8 as originally planned. We'll be absolutely knackered, but thanks for bearing with. And yeah, we'll see.
It's all good. It was enjoyable. I think we need to make sure at the end of the season we at least do some sort of snapshot for some of the worst and best takes on there. Yeah. Very difficult though without full information, isn't it? That's our cop out.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think, like I said, I think Isak is the one that has the potential to be the biggest mess up. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, yeah, like I said, we had Palmer and Salah in S tier last year, so it can't be any worse than that. Lovely stuff. Thank you everyone for watching. It'll be me and someone next week. Andy and Luke are both on holiday, so I'm gonna have to rope someone in. If you've enjoyed the content, make sure you give us a like, drop us a comment. If you're listening on the podcast version, you can also give us a review as well. And I will see you on the next one. And Luke, enjoy Egypt. No, not Egypt. That's Andy. Where are you going? Japan.
Going to Japan, yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
And I shall see you when I return.
See you later on.
See you guys.